Here we go, boys. Time to get caught up to speed. So, episode one recap. Um, we start off with Charlie Park getting yoinked onto Orion's ship, and he's freaking out a little bit. But, you know, Allie pops in, our lovely ship's AI. She's great. And she's like, "Hey, go head downstairs." So Charlie is a good boy and does as he's told. Then Luke Hammond, he gets popped onto the ship and he's angry and confused about why he's there. Allie pops in, is like, "Hey, go here." And he's like, "Fine, I'll do it, but I'm not happy about it." And then Javier gets popped on, Javier Pascal, and he is confused as all hell about why he's there, and he tries to roundhouse kick Allie. Of course, it goes straight through her because she's a hologram. But he eventually listens and goes where he's told. So we are all in the group room waiting for debriefing from Orion. Orion arrives. He is a big, tall man in a mask, and he's a little scary, but it's fine. But he explains why we're here, why we've been chosen. Essentially, the rundown is Billy Cranston of Earth 1C has been attacking the morphing grid due to the loss of Trini, his friend, the Yellow Ranger. He knows, due to his research, that the grid can and has brought people back from the dead before, and he's mad that the grid won't bring Trini back. So Orion has been trying to find a way to stop Billy and like patch the cracks that are happening across the multiverse in the morphing grid, and that's why he plucked the three of us, is because we are from like the far outward reaches of the multiverse. And he's building a team to try to combat Billy. So after we get our rundown of why we're here, Allie gives us a tour of the ship, and then she gets cut off in the middle of it due to the alarm system going off, and the power kind of flickers and goes out for a bit. Orion comes storming down. He goes into the research bay and he's yelling at somebody in the room about Allie going down. But we don't know who's in there because, according to Orion and Allie, we're the only other people on the ship, but apparently we're not. So Charlie tries to check on things. Orion gets mad about it and storms off. Then we kind of hang out a little bit. Javier makes poor decisions and drinks too much alcohol and passes out. When we wake up, however, Charlie's the first to wake up. He goes to take a shower and there's wet footprints. That's suspicious. And then, uh, Luke also wakes up and goes to take a shower and notices some other things in there that belong to someone other than him and the other two guys that are on the ship. He's like, "Ayo, someone is actually here." So we overhear Allie talking about crunching the numbers, doing the numbers, don't let him know she could fix this. You can't be stuck in here forever, kind of thing. And like we noticed, like, hey, the research facility, there's like wet fingerprints on the keypad. Somebody else is here. We just don't know who yet. So Allie talks with Charlie for a little bit. And Charlie's like, "Hey, so about last night, is everything okay?" And Allie's like, "What? What about last night?" And Charlie helps her realize that Orion tried to make her forget about what happened, with the power going out and him yelling at whoever is in the research facility. So she blips off to the research facility and everything to check in there. Then, after a bit of time, we go to the library, Luke and Charlie do, and they're hanging out and they're doing things. And then Allie appears on the screen and is like, "Hey, go to the research door. Here's the code. We don't have long." So we bust up in there and we bring Javier with us. Javier has just finished, like, showering and getting cleaned up and stuff, and he's a little bit confused still. But we drag him in there with us. And so all three of us bust in, and there's some guy in there, some random Japanese man, who we later find out is Yusaku Hayakawa from Sentai, from like the Super Sentai multiverse. So he is not from our multiverse. He's from a whole other multiverse. So there's like an omniverse going on, actually. And we find out that, like, basically because of the cracks in the morphing grid and everything, our multiverse poured into his multiverse, and there was like a whole bunch of like goo going on. And so before it kind of like sorted itself out, some things from us went over to him, and some things from his multiverse stuff came over to us. And Orion found him floating out in space and rescued him. And the reason why Orion was like, "Hey, you guys can't meet him," is because whenever Orion and Hayakawa first met, like there was a bunch of rumbling and shit. So they were worried that like if other people interacted with Hayakawa, like the multiverse might explode. But it didn't. Ali crunched them numbers and figured things out, so no big boom. Things are cool. So that's the recap of episode 1. Episode 2. All right. Javi wanders around the ship a bit to familiarize himself since he didn't get much of a tour because he was kind of drunk. He goes up in the training room and starts messing with stuff, and Allie's like, "Hey, stop that. Don't touch those things." So Javi's like, "Okay, fine." So he joins the nerds, Luke and Charlie, in the library. And we talk a little bit, and Orion comes down to gather us, and he's like, "Ayo, here's your first mission, guys. You're gonna get dropped down to Earth 1K12 because there's a whole bunch of fluctuation and fucking grid activity going on. And we're pretty sure Billy's there, so we're gonna put you down there. But before we put you down there, you guys gotta do some research. Also, Hayakawa takes our communicators and morphers to modify them and stuff. And we're like, okay, yeah, cool, that's fine. Here, Hayakawa, you can do that." So while he's doing that, we research some things and we learn about the first little bit of the Power Rangers history. So Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers, Zeo, and Turbo. This is important for reasons. Anyways, after we get done with that, we get dropped down into Earth 1K12, and it's currently the year 2001. We end up in Middleton Heights, and we are kind of wandering around a little bit, and we come across a Ranger Memorial in a park. And the Ranger Memorial is dedicated to a group of Turbo Rangers that passed away in a large battle. The names listed are Tommy Oliver, Catherine Hillard, Rocky DeSantos, Tanya Sloan, and Adam Park. This causes a lot of emotions for Luke and a couple of emotions for the others. Luke kind of wanders off a little bit. Charlie decides to touch the memorial and gets zapped real heavy and gets like thrown back several feet because there was a surge of protective grid force that like hit him. And when this happened, Charlie saw some memories from Jason's perspective. Jason is one of the Rangers that's not listed as dead, so he's alive, and everything. And we check on Charlie, make sure he's all right, and he's okay for the most part. So while after that happens, we kind of get up, and oh boy, here come our two favorite idiots. It's Bulk and Skull. They come by with some flowers for the memorial. We talk with them a bit, and we learn that Justin, one of the other Turbo Rangers, that Justin hasn't been seen in a while, that like he apparently kind of like moved away after this incident, and that Jason has been traveling around and keeping the threats at bay, kind of as kind of like on his own as the Gold Turbo Ranger. So we find this out, and we're like, okay, cool. Well, we should probably also find Jason because Jason can probably help with the whole Billy situation. But we need transportation. So we go over to a job board, and Javier's like, "Ayo, look, there's a junkyard selling cars and stuff." So we're like, okay, cool, let's go. So we go to the junkyard, and there's this crazy old guy. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I got cars, except he ain't got no cars left." And he's like, "Oh shit, I sold all my cars. Wait, actually, no, I have this one car that's in this one place, but it's haunted." And we're like, okay, cool, show us the haunted car. And he's like, all right, sweet, I gotta find the keys first. Also, if you see a kid here, tell him to go on, get. Anyways, so we kind of wander over to where the guy said that the car was, and we hear two children, identical, yelling for help. So Javier goes southward, and Luke and Charlie go northward, and we run into one child, actually. The child that Javi finds is actually a putty in disguise, but Luke and Charlie find a child that we later find out who's named Little Jimmy. And he's being attacked by putties, and also Frightwing is there. So, oh fuck, oh shit, it's combat time. We kick ass. And Frightwing is frightened and flies off like a coward. So we rescue Little Jimmy. Little Jimmy's like, hey, you guys are Power Rangers. Do you work with Jason? And we're like, we're trying to find him. And he's like, cool, I want to show you guys a thing. So he takes us over to where the car is supposed to be at in like this garage thing. And he opens up the door. And it's fucking Lightning Cruiser, which is super cool. And anyways, we go up in there, and Lightning Cruiser decides that, hey, Luke, special buddy boy, I like you. And Lightning Cruiser chooses Luke to be his new owner since Tommy has passed away in this timeline. And he kind of sees a lot of Tommy's like memories and kind of watches him come up in the ranks as like, starting with Mighty Morphin and then, when he gets to Turbo and everything. And Luke has a lot of feelings about this. So that's end of episode 2. Also, actually not quite. We take little Jimmy and we fly him home in Lightning Cruiser. We drop off the kid and then we decide to head to the command center to try to figure out what else is going on. So, episode 3. We make it to the command center in Lightning Cruiser, and on the way there, we report back to Allie and Orion about what's happened so far. And when we get to the command center, holy shit, it's destroyed. Lightning Cruiser is pretty sad about this, and so is everyone else. Especially Luke and Charlie, because they see, all of us see Adam and Tanya's bodies outside of the command center. So that's the green and yellow Turbo Ranger. Their corpses are out there. And so that's a lot. It's a lot for Charlie because Charlie's never really seen anything like this. Javi's kind of like, oh shit. And it's a lot for Luke because of reasons. So there's a lot of feelings had. Luke does go over there and he gets the morphers off the bodies. They're broken, but maybe they could be fixed later. Charlie breaks down a bit and has a little bit of a panic. But Luke kind of sort of comforts him. Javi kind of sort of is like, okay, well, while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna go investigate. He goes up in the command center and he doesn't really find much. And after a little while, the other two join him. And the center inside is like trashed. Zordon's tube is busted. Shit's fucked. But after having a look around, Javier finds the black box, which is for the data storage and stuff. And we do also like ping Hayakawa. We're like, hey, Hayakawa, can you come down and help us figure some stuff out? Because you're the tech guy. So Hayakawa comes and is like, hey, cool. Black box is important. Also, I found this other data stuff, so I can probably piece some stuff together. What's cool about the black box is on the black box is a little black frog. And that little black frog is the Black Ninjetti frog power coin. And he decides to hop on over to Charlie and is like, hey, Charlie, you're my buddy now. And Charlie's like, yo, what? So that's cool. Hayakawa goes back to Allie with the black box and the other data storage stuff, and we push on into the power chamber underneath the main command center. And it's not destroyed, it's just really dusty and dark, so it's like essentially abandoned. Like no one's really been down here in a while. We do notice that the red suit and power weapon are missing, which is weird. That's suspicious. That's the only things that are missing, though. We find a piece of medical equipment that has like one charge left for like a full heal, and we heal Javier up because we don't know what's coming soon. As we leave the command center, Luke takes a minute to cover up Adam and Tanya's bodies with like a tarp that he found, and as he does so, things get real bad. It gets cold. It gets very cold, and Javier and Luke freeze. Like not literally, but like their bodies freeze up. They can't move. Charlie can still move, and Charlie doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So this happens, and then suddenly a figure appears that we later find out is named the Death Ranger. This figure looks like a skeleton wearing a Power Ranger suit. And it is terrifying. And it goes up to Javi and is all up in Javi's face, talking to him about how he reeks of death and how, he's angry and is seeking revenge and that sort of thing. And then he also goes up to Luke. And Luke also reeks of death, but he smells of anguish and sorrow. And he starts to say, unfortunately for you, you are supposed to be. And then he gets cut off because his attention snaps to Angel Grove. And just as quickly as the Death Ranger arrived, he leaves in the direction of Angel Grove. After he leaves, Orion touches down, and Luke and Javi can now move again. The whole time, Charlie's trying to interact with the Death Ranger, and the Death Ranger basically is acting like Charlie doesn't exist because they're on two different planes of existence, basically. So Orion touches down, and Luke is like, "What the fuck was that?" And Orion's like, "Yeah, so that was the Death Ranger." And Luke's like, "Is there any other shit you're not telling us?" And Orion's like, "Okay, so here's the details." So because Billy's fucking with the grid and causing lots of issues, the Death Ranger is after Billy, and there's another guy called the Lone Ranger, and the Lone Ranger is after the Death Ranger because the Death Ranger wiped out his team, so the Lone Ranger wants revenge. So we're basically caught in a food chain of revenge type cycle, and it's weird, but it's bad. So yeah, that's great. Anyways, after that, Javi is still frozen, and he's kind of having a PTSD moment. He's real upset. So Luke goes over there and tries to check on Javier and helps comfort him, and Charlie also helps comfort him with his kitty cat because he's got a kitty cat that manifests and is real comforting, and it's really cool. So eventually we get Javier calms down, and we all pile into Lightning Cruiser and head off to Angel Grove. On our way to Angel Grove, though, Lightning Cruiser is like, "Hey, there's an attack happening. Frightwing's fucking with some people." So we're like, "Hey, detour." So we take a detour to go fight Frightwing and those putties. And we get down there, and we are, we touch down. And Luke's like, "You know what? I'm going to use my new Red Turbo Power Ranger powers." So he hops out of Lightning Cruiser as the Red Turbo Ranger, and Frightwing basically pisses himself because he's seen a ghost in his mind. And we kick ass. And while we're kicking ass, Jason shows up and shit whips Frightwing into the fucking woods with his car. It's cool. Anyways, the fight continues. We find out that Frightwing is maybe potentially working for Rito because he name drops him about how "Oh, I shouldn't have listened to Rito," and then Jason absolutely murders him. So combat ends, and Jason's like, "Hey, we need to talk." And everyone else is like, "Yeah, we do." So we step into the back of Jason's car, the trunk of it, and it leads down into this little apartment complex, which is really cool. So yeah, that's the end of episode 3, and now that's where we're starting off episode 4, the Jason situation. That's what you missed last time on Power Rangers Dimension Storm.
That was very well done.
Very well done. So for that, you recapped 3 episodes really nicely. I want everyone to bring up their story points to 6.
Oh, yeah.
I will edit Javier's to be 6 as well.
Cool.
6. So you'll have 6 story points
Sweet.
now. Okay. We are in Jason's apartment. As we came into Jason's apartment, as we ended the session, Jason did mention why he acted a little indifferent and seemed a little bit angry about there being a new Red Turbo Ranger, and why he was also shocked. And he revealed that he has the broken Red Turbo helmet, and he showed it to Luke, and that's where we last left off. So Luke, how are you reacting to this broken Red Turbo helmet?
So to begin with, Luke kind of does a little bit of a double take at the helmet because it looks very similar to something else he's seen. But
Yep.
after a minute, he kind of gathers himself and he just sort of looks over at Jason. I understand why you came across kind of strong earlier. Um, it's almost like you'd seen a ghost, and I can imagine it was a lot for you seeing someone in the red turbo suit after losing your friend.
Yeah, it took me back a little bit. But if Lightning Cruiser trusts you, I I can't say that I can really complain. I was just trying to find him. Obviously, y'all did a better job than I did. So where was he?
He was at some junkyard in Angel Grove in a garage. A kid actually showed him to us.
I guess then he must have not been turned on. I tried searching for signatures everywhere.
Yeah. He his charge was pretty low, so that's probably why.
I was hoping maybe I could find him and maybe I could talk some sense into Stormblaster as well. I could track him, just a little hard to catch up to him, even with Thunder. Stormblaster didn't handle it all very well. I just kind of want to talk to him.
Stormblaster? Is that a friend of
Make
yours?
Jason's kind of a little smile. You could say that. He Lightning Cruiser and Stormblaster came from an asteroid, and they made their way to Earth, where they met up with Tommy and Rocky, Red and Blue Turbo Rangers, and they offered their assistance and brought a lot to the team. Lightning Cruiser, I guess, just didn't have much left in him to give, and Stormblaster does. I guess he just doesn't want what happened to happen again. Or maybe he's mad at me because I showed up too late to the fight.
As long as you showed up, right? I mean, if we find him, we can explain things.
That doesn't always mean that forgiveness will be given. It's hard to forgive yourself for something like that, much less for someone else to.
Jason's gonna kind of start to walk towards the fridge in his apartment. He's gonna open the fridge. He's gonna turn around. And he's just gonna look. Beer, water, anything.
I'm only 18 unless the laws are different here.
Well, 21's still the drinking age, but if you're out here doing this, I mean, they have 18-year-olds go to fight wars overseas.
I better not. I'll just have a water if that's okay.
All right, a water, and he's gonna look at you, Luke, and for you,
Just water's fine.
and he's gonna pull out 2 waters and a beer, and hand Luke his water, and then go and hand Charlie his water, and then make his way back around the bar. He's gonna open himself up a beer, take a few sips. So, what all? I guess, if where are y'all from? How did you get here? I don't recognize any of your powers. And I've helped quite a few Ranger teams.
About that, that's sort of interesting where we're from because we're not really from here or from this earth or universe. Remember Man Upstairs sent us? Man Upstairs I'm referring to, his name's Orion. Though probably different from the Orion that you know.
No, the name Orion doesn't ring any bells. not really anything that I can give you on that one. And I've been in space, and I haven't heard anything about a man named
Like
Orion.
I said, we're not really from this universe. Luke kind of looks at Charlie. Do we just get?
I mean, it seems like I get weird looks every time I explain where I'm from. I'll just go ahead and tell you. Orion said that I'm from Earth 5-V827, and like y'all look at me, and I'm actually looking at my hand, and I've written it down. and and basically, from my world, my mentor's name is Zordon, and we're part of a group called the Companion Rangers, and we're like sort of comforting sort of pets that like our Zords are, not us. I'm all nervous. Like for instance, my Zord is the house cat, and I was supposed to find a puppy and a goldfish, and well, now I can't remember because I'm learning so much new stuff. I've kind of pushed that stuff out of my head. But anyway, we do have monsters, and we try to fight them, but mostly we just make sure that the people of Angel Grove are okay, and make sure that if they need to just if they have a bad day, they can vent to us, or if they need a hug, we're there for them. That's kind of what the Power Rangers do in my world.
Yep, that's Charlie. I'm from Earth 10X something. I don't remember all of the things. I was part of a team. The Nature Fury Rangers is what we were called. Point is, Charlie, me, and Javier, we were all pulled from our respective universes by Orion to build a team to combat a threat to the morphing grid. And the reason why we're here is because there's been a lot of grid fluctuations happening, and Orion's pretty sure that that threat to the morphing grid is here on Earth 1K12, which is your Earth, currently. This is a lot of information. Please let me know if I need to stop at any point.
We're looking for a guy that's messing things up named Billy Cranston. And I think you know him because I kind of saw some of your memories. Sorry if that was an invasion of your privacy, but it just kind of happened.
Well, he's taking a swig and he wipes his mouth. He's got a little bit of a smile. it's a lot of information to drop right away. First off, Charlie, your ranger type seems very different from anything I've ever encountered on my world. And your Zordon seems a little more laid back.
It was the 80s.
I mean,
I'm from 1986.
Wow, that's interesting. I guess the multiverse is full of crazy things after
I'm
all.
actually from 2005, and we didn't have a Zordon. Our leader was named Arbor. He was a giant talking tree.
Nature, I get it.
Kind of figured that by the name. And he's going to look back towards Javier, and Javier has obviously got this 1,000-yard stare going on. And he just says, "Whenever you're ready, I can see you're handling something."
He's had a hard day
back there. Yeah, but you said Billy. Billy, it can't be my Billy. Billy he wouldn't hurt anybody. He wouldn't dream of it.
That's the thing. Your version of Billy is probably a perfectly fine guy. This version of Billy is from Earth 1C? Yeah, Earth 1C. And he's fucking shit real good. And he's causing a lot of problems.
All of our universes are currently in danger because of him, and apparently some other universes have already been wiped clean. That's what Orion told us anyway.
because he's been fucking
I
with the
want
morphing grid.
I want you two to roll me an alertness check.
Do. Any kind of shift
With
or
a difficulty, make it an 11 difficulty and have a snag.
oh boy.
See if any of you can get this with a snag.
Nope.
Okay, y'all do not. Y'all are. This is a conversation y'all are having. Jason, kind of starts to think about it. So y'all are here. Well. I guess what I'm trying to ask is where is my Earth in all this? Do you even know the coordinates for my Earth
Earth
designation?
1K12.
1K12. Okay.
You know, I just realized something that would probably make this a hell of a lot easier, explanation wise. Luke's just gonna
Okay. Go for it.
pull up his left wrist and like bop his little communicator. Hey Orion, are you busy?
Quiet for a little bit. Eventually hear a not at the moment. What you need is something going
Uh
on.
we're kind of trying to explain the situation to Jason and oh yeah, by the way, we found Jason or he found us. Um do you want to try to I mean, we gave him the important parts about like Billy's fucking with the morphin grid and like we were sent here because of the grid fluctuations and everything. And do you want to talk to him yourself?
It's a bit of silence. Little bit of murmuring. Orion's mulling it over. I'll talk to him via the hologram. Uh, Teleporting down probably isn't a good idea. I didn't mean to waste the energy I did to teleport down to y'all, but I sensed a great evil. And the little camera is gonna pop out of your communicator. Little circular spear camera levitates toward Jason, and it's gonna get right here, and it's gonna project a little hologram of Orion, kind of like R2D2 for Leia in Star Wars. Just a little projection as Orion looks up to Jason. Jason, I know this is probably a lot to tack on to you, but I really need to know if you've seen anything or heard anything out of the ordinary in your world. Starting back, probably, well, it's hard to say. Time moves differently in different universes. Have you noticed any major changes? Has anyone appeared in your world that's not from your world? People that you thought were dead coming back to life, per se? And Jason's gonna look down on him a little confused. No, I mean, there has been an increase in monsters lately. A few that shouldn't exist. We've had a few people live after the Z wave, but there seems to be more and more coming now. Don't get me wrong, there are monsters coming from different dimensions and stuff, but it has been a little more. It has just been a lot more lately, I guess you could say. And that's probably due to the fact that Billy has tampered with everything. And Orion, his little hologram, is going to start just stroking his mask at the bottom of his mask a little bit. Maybe if, well, no, you haven't seen, I guess, per se, a Billy that doesn't belong there, older or anything, perchance. Jason's Jason ponders for a little bit, longer than he should if he had or hadn't seen one. No, I can't say that I have. I mean, my Billy is doing his own thing with his tech company, and I mean, we talk, but I haven't seen him in a while, and I haven't seen a old or evil Billy either. And Orion does his favorite thing of just looking up at Jason and his hologram and squinting his eyes a little bit. Well, Jason, I know that this is a lot, but in the event, and I hate to ask you now, there may be a big battle ahead. I would like to know that we could count on you. You seem to be different than what previously thought. You seem very powerful. I'd hate to see you be tempted to revive your friends. Jason, yet again, just kind of looking at Orion's little hologram. You can see Jason's getting a little tense. It's pretty obvious. He didn't like that Orion just went out there and straight up said that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Mr. Orion. Maybe I would, but I have a question for you. Why are you wearing the white tiger symbol? And Orion just looks up at him.
Good question.
You mean my shoulder guard? Yeah. Jason's gonna speak up, get a little more assertive. I know for a fact that is the white tiger symbol from the white tiger coin that Tommy got after he lost his Green Ranger powers. You may be from a different universe, but I'm kind of inclined, since you're wearing a mask, to ask where you got it and who you are exactly. So I'm not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, a big fight may be coming, but if you're leading this army, I want to know who I'm working for.
I mean, Jason kind of has a point, Orion. I've been wanting to ask the same question since we've done our research, but I didn't really have the chance to.
Orion thinks it over. I have one question for you, Jason. Go ahead, shoot. Jason just kind of shrugged his shoulder up a little bit as he says that. Could I trust you to come aboard my ship and that you won't bring any unintended visitors with you? Jason just kind of looks over, thinks about it. Why exactly do you want me to go upon your ship? Ryan speaks up. Well, like Luke said, be nice, be important. And I haven't exactly been 100% truthful with my team either. I've mulled it over a little bit and I've thought about it for a while. I think it's finally time to correct a few things and bring the trust and the bond between me and my Rangers, and hopefully you, if it changes your mind. Jason takes another drink of his beer. So you're telling me that you're going to invite me on the ship and tell me something, but you don't have any idea if it's going to convince me or not.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of hard to know until we get there.
Well, honestly, I mean, once you see their operation, you'll see, like, well, I don't know. I just feel like open, honest communication is the only way we're going to move forward in any of this. I don't see why. Well, I don't want to say anything. Never mind. I'm sorry.
No, Charlie, you have a point. It's important that we are open and honest with each other and that we know the details of what we are dealing with before we get too far into it. And Luke kind of pointedly says this looking at Orion's hologram.
Jason finishes the beer. And if I perchance say no, let's say if I say no, well, what happens then? Well, Orion speaks up. Well, we'll let you go. I'm not going to keep you here. It's your decision. I would just hate to see someone like you going down the wrong path. And Jason just, okay, I'll go on your ship and I'll listen to what you have to say. I just don't want there to be any hard feelings if I don't want to help you. And Orion turns around, looks at Charlie and Luke. I will make the preparations for the teleporter and the ship. I will communicate you when we are about to receive you. Just stand by for now. And he turns back around to Jason. Thank you for taking your time to listen to what I have to say and seeing how we run things. You didn't have to do that.
You're gonna like Allie. Wait till you meet Allie. You're really gonna like her. And Hayakawa's really cool too.
And Orion does blink out, and the camera goes back into Luke's communicator. And Jason's just looking at you, Allie. That last one sounded Japanese.
Hayakawa is our tech guy. He's not from around here either. He yeah, he's from even further out than we are. He's pretty neat. Allie is the ship that you will be on, and she's also the AI that runs the ship.
Interesting. Okay. And then Jason is going to move over here and look through the window. All right, I think we're at a pretty good place. Seems like Thunder understood the assignment, I guess. Whenever y'all are ready, I'm going to head back out and check around, make sure there's no one followed us, and y'all can head up as well. And Jason's going to make his way up the stairs.
I'm just go over to Javi and kind of rub his back and kind of whisper like, "Let's go," or like, "Are you just whenever you're ready?" I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, bud, whenever you're ready, we're heading out."
Javier is going to nod and say, okay, and he starts to stand up.
Is the red turbo helmet still sitting on the counter?
Yeah, Jason left it on the counter. I forgot to have him take it, so I'm just going to say it's on the counter.
Luke very gingerly kind of picks it up and looks at it.
There's ponytail hair
Okay.
on the inside.
You you will notice that it's got burn marks. The visor is shattered. It's pretty beat up overall. And yet again, you hear the echoes of the former Red Turbo Ranger, Red Zeo Ranger, Green, White Ranger, Tommy Oliver echo in your mind. You don't really make out exactly what he says, but you can hear a bit of everything. You can hear him talking to his friends. You can hear him hyping himself up for a fight, talking crap to Zed. You can hear him do a little bit throughout his journey, a quick flash as it echoes in the back of your mind.
Hey, Luke, are you okay?
Hmm.
You look like you kind of spaced out there. Is everything all right?
He puts the helmet back on the counter and he turns around. Yeah, I'm fine. Just thinking about something.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think. Everything's been so crazy. I'm just trying to go with the flow, you know?
Yeah. I'm hoping Jason sees our side of things, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess let's go. Let's see where we're at.
You all head outside up the stairs. Coming out of the trunk of Blitzing Thunder, y'all can see Jason's already made his way out a little bit. Y'all will be in these little four squares here. And as you step out, you will see Lightning Cruiser behind Blitzing Thunder. And y'all come out to a park area. A different park than the one you were at previously. It's got a little gazebo thing right here. A little statue and stuff. As Jason's looking around the area, you'll see that y'all are out. So, as he turns around to you, so do y'all know when we're gonna get teleported?
Not exactly. As Orion said, we're just kind of on standby until the teleport is ready, and then he'll let us know. So I imagine we've got a little bit of time if there's something you want to attend to.
I'm taking like deep breaths. I'm trying to get as much of this fresh air as I can before I go back into that spaceship. Not that I'm complaining.
Y'all will notice that it's been a while. The sun has already been past the noon arc, and it's starting to come down on time. It's currently about 5:30. It is March, so the sun will be down in probably like an hour or so, hour and a half. But you can tell that the sun is starting to make its way down, and it's starting to get to the late. It's the late afternoon / evening at this point.
What's that statue?
Luke lights a cigarette.
Jason looks at you. I mean, I know I started drinking a little bit, but Ranger's smoking.
As I'm walking towards the statue, I turn around and I go, "Don't worry, I'm not going to touch it."
Thank you for clarifying, Charlie.
Touches it, dies.
What
I
is-
touched
what-
it.
What is that statue? Can I make it out from where I am now?
Yeah. So this is a statue. It's of a what are they called? What was like people that came across and like discovered lands and
Like a
shit?
pilgrim?
Founders, crusaders. What's like a pilgrim? Yeah, it's a pilgrim. Because interesting enough, Angel Grove is in California, but they had British colonization according to the show.
Well, there's a lot
So
of weird stuff.
yeah, you can see that this is yeah. So this is a pilgrim. It's a statue of a pilgrim, the founder of Angel Grove. I don't make me give it a name for the guy. Just see that's a statue of a man who looks like a pilgrim, and it just says, "Yeah, Peter Griffin." We're going with Peter Griffin. That's it now.
Peter Griffin, founder of Angel Grove.
Peter Griffin, founder of Angel Grove, and this is like a site that's like this is where they like first like settled in. It's one of those historical landmarks where it's like first settled, and this used to be like a place where people live, but it's been turned into a park after centuries or whatever. But they made
There
it a
people
memorial
around the
statue.
park just kind of like enjoying it.
Let me check that real quick. It's getting late in the evening. There's a few people. There are people over here at these benches and whatnot, and a few people chilling over at the gazebo area. Not a lot. It's getting later in the evening. Looks like there was a birthday here, and people didn't clean up.
Oh, can I run over and help them clean up?
The people who had the birthday are already gone. It's just their leftovers.
I'm
They
gonna
just didn't
go.
clean.
Can I tidy it up?
Yeah, if you want to go tidy it up, yeah, there are people sitting at these benches right here and here, but the birthday party was had on these two.
I'm just gonna walk by people, just kind of waving, being like, "Hi, don't worry about me," and then I'm just gonna grab stuff and throw it in the trash.
Yeah, you will see that pretty close by. There's a receptacle here and a receptacle here, and it's just like they were lazy and didn't care. You would think to yourself maybe a monster attacked, but the only monster y'all saw around, Jason killed, so you don't think that's a good excuse either. If anyone else would like to help Charlie tidy up, you may do that.
Yeah, Luke doesn't like that. He's gonna. Also, on the smoking comment, Luke's just gonna kind of look over at Jason and kind of tilt his head, and shrug his shoulders, kind of like, and then go help Charlie clean up the trash.
The air in the city was a lot different from the air back at my home, but here at the park, it's almost like I'm just home again.
Yeah, I mean it's wider open. Typically in the cities, it feels more stuffy. I should have stopped by a convenience store while we were there to get more cigs. Maybe we'll have time to stop by one, although Allie won't let me smoke on the ship. But if we're gonna be off the ship,
Yeah, smoke
And
him if you got him.
Luke's saying all this. Luke's saying all this with like the cigarette kind of like hanging out the side of his mouth.
One of the people that's at these benches is actually going to approach you, Charlie. He's going to say, "Hey, I hate to get in y'all's business, and I see y'all are cleaning up from that birthday party. Maybe me and my friends should have did it, but and he's going to point in Jason's direction. Is that Jason? Like the Jason?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He told me.
He's going to lean in. Are y'all Power Rangers?
Would Power Rangers be cleaning up after a party?
Yes, actually, they do that a lot.
Luke will kind of nod.
Oh my God, are y'all? Where are y'all the? Wait, which Rangers are y'all? Are y'all the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers? The Time Force Rangers?
You know a lot about Power Rangers. My name's Charlie.
Hi. My name's
It's
Brennan.
nice to meet you, man. I don't know what we're really allowed to tell you, but let's just keep it on the down low.
Oh, yeah, no, of course. I'm sorry. It's just everyone knows that car, and I just see him standing over there, so I just assumed it was Jason. I wanted to look. I was. I mean, I'm only 17 now, but I was a kid back in '97, and I was here firsthand when the Rangers were defeated, and then everyone thought we were, I don't know, getting enslaved by monsters or whatever, and then all of a sudden this Gold Ranger shows up and just starts wrecking shop, and it was he kind of saved me and my father. We were cornered, and my dad is no fighter, and I was just a kid, so he kind of saved my life, and I wanted to, I don't know, thank him. I just didn't know how to approach him.
I mean, he's a person just like you are. People are people, man.
Yeah, but I heard he turned a monster to gold and shut him out of an airlock.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, but that's a monster, and you're just a guy.
We actually don't know him that well, so we're not super comfortable with seeing if he'd be receptive to meeting people. I could ask.
Yeah, if you could, because the other guy he's standing next to looks really tough, and I didn't want to
Oh,
approach him either.
that's just Javi. Don't let him scare you. He's a big teddy bear. Though actually, it's probably best that you do leave him alone. He's kind of had a rough day. Charlie, if you want to go see if Jason will come over, I guess.
Yeah, hang tight, Brendan. I'll go check it out.
All right, thanks.
I'm Luke, by the way.
Oh, hi. I don't know if you heard me. Brennan.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
No, go ahead. You're good.
Mr. Scott.
Oh yeah, what's going on? Are we about to?
I'm
get
actually not
teleported?
sure about that, but there's a guy over there, a young kid. His name is Brennan, and apparently you saved him and his dad a couple of years back. And he just, he's kind of, he's got that shock you see when you see celebrity, and it would mean a lot to him if you went over and said hi, I think. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind. I wish he had approached me about it. I kind of feel bad now, but yeah,
Awesome.
no, I'll go say hi. And Jason's gonna start walking his way over here. And Jason's gonna approach him. Hey, you said you want to talk to me? Oh yes, Mr. Scott. Yeah. Sorry, my name's Brennan. You kind of like saved me back in '97. I was with my dad, and we were surrounded by monsters. We were stuck in the city whenever the Ranger Megazord went down, and we found out all the Rangers were defeated. You like I said, you saved my life and me and my father's, and I just always wanted to thank you, but I could never catch you. You're pretty quick in that car. He says, yeah, the car's pretty quick, but well, I mean, it's appreciated, but if I remember correctly, for who you are, your dad put up quite the fight before I got there, and he wasn't taking taking any kind of crap the monsters were giving him. It's pretty brave of your dad. Is he he's still around? Oh yeah, no, my dad's still around. But yeah, no, just like I said, just really appreciate what you did, and I wish the other Rangers were here, you know. And Jason's gonna put his hand on his shoulder. Don't worry. They'll always be with you. Like anyone. They're always gonna be with me. I'm pretty sure they would think you and your dad are pretty brave. And just keep up the good faith, and we need more people like you around. I can tell you're a good kid. And the and Brennan's gonna go, oh, thank you so much, mister. I'm not gonna take up much more of your time. Me and my friends were just about to go anyway, but like I said, thank you so much. And he grabs his bag with his friends over on this bench, and they start talking like, dude, do you fucking talk to Jason? That's Jason? And he's like, yeah, like I said, he saved my parent. Like, dude, that's so cool. And they're like, oh yeah, we got to tell the other guys about this. And then they start to walk away. Jason's gonna walk up. I didn't mess that up, did I? I'm not good with this kind of stuff. Kind of mumbled my words a little bit.
You did awesome. That meant a lot to that kid. You probably he's been wanting to say those things to you since 1997, which again I don't really remember what year. I guess this is what 4 years.
2000. It's 2001.
It's 2001.
Which is 11 years from my time, but I guess 4 years ago for you. But yeah, that was incredible. You're a really good guy. And I kind of just do like a weird little awkward punch on his arm, but immediately I'm just like, oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. And then you'll hear a familiar beeping. Beep, 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 beep. And Jason also instinctively goes to check his wrist, realizing it's not his.
Luke pops yellow.
Hello. I think we're ready to teleport you and Mr. Scott.
All right. Let's go. Do we all need to be close to each other? Because Javi's not right here at the moment.
No, we got a lock on you. Just make sure you're standing up and not sitting down if you're sitting down.
Question. Are our automobile friends gonna be okay?
That's a good question, actually. And the little hologram, the little camera is going to pop up. The hologram is going to pop up. It's Allie in front of Jason. Hello, Mr. Jason. I'm Allie. I'm sure you heard a lot about me. I'm hard to not talk about. He's going to like, yeah, I heard a little bit about you. I heard you're the ship, the one and only. Are you comfortable with us teleporting your car into the vehicle bay so you don't leave it? I know it can fly, but it'd just be a little easier. And if you wanted to leave and not be teleported, you could just drive out the vehicle bay. Jason looks at, as a show of good faith, yeah, you can go ahead and teleport both the vehicles. And she says, okie dokie, I will make the parameters, and in a few seconds, y'all will be teleported to the ship. And hopefully you're not spread out everywhere this time. Yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. Y'all were supposed to all be in the same area, but you all ended up in different parts of the ship. So, and let's hope none of you end up outside the ship. And then she immediately just cuts off after that. So you don't even get to ask her what that means. Jason's like, did she say outside the ship?
Allie likes to joke.
So y'all wait a few minutes, and then you were all whisked back upon the ship. You were all whisked back into the vehicle bay. Okay, yeah, you're there. Okay. And y'all appear in front of Orion and Allie.
I look antsy, like I want to go check something.
Allie's gonna pop next to you. Are you okay, Charlie?
Yeah. I mean, I know that we're probably maybe going to do like a debrief, but I just want to see if Orion got the stuff for my room.
She's like, hold your horses. He got your stuff, and it's all neatly organized in your room. I had the robots do a few things. You can always change it, but he kind of just had the stuff there, and I felt like it was kind of just like rude. So I put stuff up, but feel free to change it if you want to.
He still has the cigarette. It's like almost burnt out, but he still has the cigarette.
instantly that the rest of that cigarette's gonna fling into Orion's hands, and yet again, like he did before,
Cigarette
it's gone.
kinesis.
Magic.
Tobacco.
I was almost finished with that.
And then Allie's gonna appear closer to you. No means no, and she's gonna have her arms crossed, and a giant red X is gonna appear above her head. No smoking in the
Maybe
ship.
they've got cold turkey in the kitchen.
Damn, he's good. And then Jason is going to make his way. So you're Orion, and yes, Jason is looking up at Orion. You're a lot bigger than I thought you'd be, with the hologram and all. But I still got questions, but I'll listen to you first. And Orion's gonna look down. Well, that's nice of you, but if you don't mind, I do need to debrief my rangers, and I have something important as well to address to them, if you don't mind waiting. I was going to wait for them to come back when things were over, but you seem to... Well, it's better to do this in person than through the hologram. And like I said, I wanted to do a show of good faith. Jason's gonna be like, yeah, I can wait a little bit. Is there somewhere a lot nicer to wait? Yeah. Upstairs. There's a sitting area for everyone on the ship. And if you want, Allie can give you the tour, or you can just wait patiently. There is another man aboard the ship, Yusaku Hayakawa. You can talk to him if you wish too. He's probably got a lot of questions, and then he's going to be like, oh yes, Charlie, by the way, we will need you in the engineering bay before you are dropped back down to Earth again. We wish to examine that gold energy you're radiating.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
If that's not an issue, Jason, no issue of mine. I'm still kind of weird about that whole thing. I mean, yeah, I'm the one who encased the statue in gold. I didn't want it to wear down. I didn't think he'd get all that he got. So when Jason's gonna turn, yeah, I'm sorry about that, by the way. I didn't think that would happen to you.
It's okay. It was a learning experience.
And then Orion's me, well, if that's the case, Allie, if you would show Mr. Scott a place for him to relax. For the rest of you, well, and Orion looks in Javi's direction. Javier, if you wish to go be by yourself, I completely understand. And I would give the same to you, Luke, but I need to have a talk with you as well.
Oh, don't worry, Orion. I've got a couple
It can-
questions for you.
All will be answered. And you all start to head up to the other side of the ship. In the common area, if you want to go ahead and move your tokens over. Javier is, however, going to go into his room, as Allie's going to direct Jason to this area. Orion is going to have you to follow him up to the next floor. And then you will move them up to Orion's quarters. Orion is going to offer you two a seat if you wish to take it on the couch.
Luke's gonna lean against the wall.
I know you have many questions, but unfortunately they're going to have to wait. There are some things that I will need to, that I'd wish to address to you first, and things that need to be said. So that way you don't ask questions only to be given answers and then ask more questions again. Like I said before, I do not like to repeat myself. For starters, I want to say you all did a pretty good job out there. After I came back and got your stuff, I was shown bits of your fight with Frightwing at the beginning and how y'all handled the situation. Charlie, from coming from a ranger place that does not really involve that much fighting, gotta commend you on your effort and your want to secure the child above a lot of things.
I mean, I did a lot of pushing, but yeah, it worked.
However, you did fumble at the very end with the second fight with Frightwing.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about what Javi was going to do if he got his hands on him.
I understand that, and Javier does have an aggressive fighting style, and I will make sure to address that to him when he is in better shape. However, Frightwing was kidnapping children, and you actively told him to go away, to run away, basically, to get out of here.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of confusing me too. I guess in the moment, I just saw a being that needed help, and that's something I'll try to remember as we keep going. I'm not that fast to fight, and I'm kind of quick to forgive, even with something as bad as, oh geez, child
Yes,
kidnapping.
I understand. But from what I can tell from Jason's world, and I'm hoping he'll tell us more, things aren't really good. And if Rito is somehow alive, then that raises a lot of questions. I've not been able to detect much. Rito may be using some type of magic to block me, and I'm not the strongest I am right now. But I will have to say, please advise from doing that again.
Yes, sir.
But other than that, I know it was hard seeing dead rangers. But I can see also that you have found yourself a companion of sorts.
And at saying that, the frog pops out.
I will have something for you later. But overall, Charlie, I think you did a good job. And I'm proud of you. Since you never really got the chance to experience any ranger duties to being thrown into this for your first experience, I think you did a good job.
Thank you, sir.
Now, if you would please make your way to the research facility, Hayakawa is waiting for you. We're going to see if we can get that gold energy off of you. If he needs my help, I will be down shortly. But until then, just sit there with you and do whatever he tells you. I guess he's probably going to scan you a lot, and just don't let him do anything too crazy.
Yes, sir. And then I just kind of scoot
As
off, like
Charlie,
awkwardly.
as
I give.
go ahead.
Yeah. No, you go ahead. I was about to say I give you a look.
As
But
Charlie
what are you about
goes
to do?
by, Luke will kind of like pat him on the shoulder. I think you did well too.
Yeah, just gotta stop trying to let monsters get
You
away, and then I just kind of scoot off.
So, and he's going to walk further out from the wall and turn your direction. You can ask some questions, but some questions will have to wait for later. Not like later, but pretty soon, but just not in this conversation. So if I tell you it has to wait for later, trust me, when I tell you, I will tell you, but I will answer what I can now without having to repeat myself later on after we talk to Jason.
understood.
So what do you wish to know now?
Why didn't you tell us about the Death Ranger and the Lone Ranger before we dropped down?
I didn't tell you about the Death Ranger because, to be honest, I didn't expect that you would encounter him or he would find you worth his time to stop and try to engage you. From what I understand, he didn't really engage you as so much as told you why he was able to stop you, why he was able to freeze you. I didn't think you'd be worth his time, but you were at the command center, so it may have been perhaps that he was waiting for Billy to show up. Or maybe if Billy had been there and he was hoping he'd come back. He smelled death.
Regardless of whether you thought we would run into him or not, a threat that serious involving the person that we are supposed to be going after, it's important that we know about those sort of things.
I understand. And it probably was a lapse in my judgment. You're right, I probably should have told you from the get-go. Maybe a part of me was afraid that if I told you too much, you'd probably rather just not go at all. Maybe that's what it was. I'm not entirely sure, but honestly, I just thought you wouldn't run into him. Not this early. And as for the Lone Ranger, he is, as long as you don't get in his way, he won't be a threat. He's more likely to ignore you than anything.
Fair enough.
Any other questions that could be answered at this time?
I'm gonna leave the whole what's under the mask, why do you have the white tiger pauldron stuff alone, because I imagine that's going to be a conversation to be had with Jason since he had the same questions.
It will. I will answer that question whenever we have our talk with Jason. Anything else?
Did you notice how Jason paused when you asked him if he had run into Billy?
Yes. Something's off with him.
Something's not right. I'm glad I'm not the only one that picked up on that.
Now, as for your review, you were a little rusty. And I'm guessing, and I know seeing the Turbo Ranger statue did not help you any. And I know seeing 2 dead Rangers outside the command center probably made it worse. But I buried them. They are buried. They have headstones outside the command center.
Good.
Just one thing I do wish to address immediately.
Which is?
Lightning Cruiser.
He chose me. You're not sending him back.
I'm not. I'm curious. And as more or less, I would like to have a talk with him to know why. I don't think I have to. I think I can put it together as to why you were chosen. And he will be a great asset to our team, as long as he wishes to come with us. I think he will, but he is a sentient car, and I'd like to double check and make sure he knows what he's getting himself into. But it has sparked my decision. And my decision may be final, depending on how you answer my next question.
You said you understood why Lightning Cruiser chose me?
Yes. Are you ready to lead this team?
It's a hell of a question to pose to a guy that just got here like 4 days ago.
Yes. But a team leader is necessary. Not only if y'all are unable to contact me, will you have final say for the most part with your team? Whenever we are able to combine your Zords into the Megazord, you will take point. And I will also bestow upon you a bit of my own power. The team needs a leader.
Why me?
At first, when he starts to pace back and forth, stroking the bottom of his mask, at first I thought Charlie would be the best pick. Although he performed pretty well, his lapse of judgment with Frightwing made me reconsider. When I started to think about it, about Lightning Cruiser chose you. Lightning Cruiser is not only a sentient vehicle, capable of recreating the red turbo powers, apparently, it's also specifically the red turbo powers. Red Rangers, most cases, are leaders of Power Ranger teams. Yes, you are a Green Ranger. That's where you came from. But a powerful being like Lightning Cruiser doesn't just pick people for no reason. He picked you because you have it in you. And I trust that decision. That's why I'm not even going to talk to him. I trust his judgment that he picked you. And you performed probably the best out there, out of everyone.
I just did what I needed to look after my fellow Rangers and get the job done.
And do you still hear Tommy?
How do you know that I've heard him again?
I assumed. Powers have echoes of former users, especially if the user died.
Yes, I've heard him more.
I'm also going to assume this isn't your first time hearing ghosts.
No, it's not. It's kind of a lot to deal with.
Trust me, I know. But I don't think you quite understand who you are hearing. I know you researched about Tommy, in his beginnings.
I know he's a powerful ranger. I know he was the leader for a little bit.
In most places of the multiverse, Tommy is one of the greatest rangers that ever lived.
What?
In Earth 1, to the research that you researched from that era, Tommy would later on come back in an era, a certain point of time, early 2000s, ironically pretty close to where we are now around this Earth. Few years off, but pretty close. He would come back to lead a team of Rangers as their mentor. He would come back as the Black Dino Ranger, leading a team of 3, eventually 4. And Tommy would end his story there, eventually coming back for the legendary battle full of hundreds of Rangers, leading the charge. He would also come back again to help the Ninja Steel Rangers. And Tommy would display a gift that no one has ever achieved yet. Tommy was gifted a Master Morpher, allowing him to morph into all the different Rangers he had been in his life in a single item. After that, Tommy grew old. He married Catherine, or Kat, and had a son named JJ. And even though it didn't call for it, Tommy would once again pick up the mantle and help his son stop a powerful demon from coming from the depths, further adding to his legacy. And there is more I could tell you, but I think I've already told you enough. So I ask you again, are you ready to lead this team?
Luke kind of stands there for a moment, leaning up against the wall. He sort of looks up at the ceiling for a minute, closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, looks back at Orion. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. This is going to require some strength. And he's going to start to approach you with his hand out. And as he says, this is going to require some strength. You lose your vision and you start to fade out. And the last thing you hear, but I can't do it alone. I'll need her help. And you hear, see nothing else. You basically black out. Charlie, where are you at?
I'm at the research facility.
Research facility? Okay, Charlie. We're going to cut to you. And we are going to say Jason is also in there with you and Hayakawa, helping you with the Gold Ranger stuff.
Again, I'm really sorry that I touched that thing. I just wanted to pay my respects.
And you are covered in little sensor things, similar to what you get at hospitals, little sticky things they put on you, and you've got a weird device on your head, and Hayakawa has stuff hooked up to what looks like some kind of batteries and stuff, and he's just like, well, if I could figure a way to get it off of you, that'd be real great. And Jason's just leaning up against the table, arms crossed. I wish I could help you, but I don't really know how to. I could turn things to gold, I could turn them back, or I can dust them. I really don't know how to get it off. Charlie, you are getting a little bit of zippy zaps every now and again as Hayakawa does different things, but nothing that hurts, just little shocks.
Hey, when did you coat that statue with gold? Was I the first person to touch it, or is something about me just...
I don't think you were probably the first one to touch it, but however, it is interesting that it reacted that way because they erected that statue in 98, at the end of 98. And it was a standard copper statue, but I didn't think that was good enough, so I turned it to gold. I didn't want it to wear out. Anything I touch that turns to gold it's hard to break. It's hard to get through, and it doesn't wear easy. So I knew it would keep the statue good for a long time. Other people probably have touched it, and I haven't heard anything about other people getting zapped with my memories. I think it may have been because you were the first ranger to touch it that wasn't me.
Oh, you think it might have something to do with my access to the morphing grid?
It could be. Hayakawa's readjusting some things. I guess we'll find out. I mean, it's... you don't mind if you... never mind. He's going to shake his head and continue to do things as you start to hear those familiar, oh so heavy footsteps. And also, Allie's watching in the corner, and she is finding this all too hilarious as Orion enters the room without Luke.
There's a tray with like a little razor that they didn't have to use to put the sticky things on. they got it ready,
because he's got no hair. Orion's gonna walk in. You notice Luke's not with him. Javier makes sense, but Luke not being here, you're a little thrown off by it.
Well, I know how conversation with Orion goes. Sometimes people just need a little break.
Orion's gonna walk in, and Jason's gonna look at him. So, are you ready for that talk? You're missing a few people. And Orion's gonna say, we'll gather Javier before we have the talk. Luke, on the other hand, is busy adjusting to a few things. He will meet us where we're going to have the talk. And he motions over to Hayakawa. Any luck with the getting the gold powers off of him? Hayakawa just looks at the computer, just kind of shrugs, just kind of like, I am having a hard time getting it off of him. It's just, I mean, I've been learning more about the grid and everything else and try to help with this kind of stuff, but this is on there, and fortunately, Jason over there can't help us with it. And Orion's gonna pull his hand out in front of you, Charlie. Just mind if I try?
Go for it, sir.
And you can start to feel something grabbing you, Charlie. You're not quite sure about it, but you can feel a little bit of a buildup. Something's about to break or bust. Something's about to give. You start to shake a little bit, and Orion's just like, just a little bit more. And he's like, Hayakawa, get the energy source ready. And Hayakawa rushes over and starts clamping stuff down and everything and all that. And then,
I'm trusting you.
Let me roll for Orion real quick. You are not going to die if he fails. Just want to let you know that now, but I do want to roll for this just to give it a little more tension. Ooh, okay. Orion tries to get it off of you, but he ultimately does not have the strength at the moment. Energy's still around you, but now it's evened out. You don't feel that energy about to give out on you. Orion puts his hand down, hides it back behind his cloak. I guess maybe I did a little too much. We'll have to try this again. But later, you seem to be fine for now. He's fine, right? Hayakawa's like, yeah, he's stabilizing as he looks at his computer. Energy was about to give. Thought we had it there for a moment, but other than that, he's going to be okay. And Charlie, you feel like, wow, you feel kind of energetic. You feel energized by that a little bit.
Go for a jog on the treadmill.
And then Orion says,
really good right now. Kind of bouncing a little bit.
That's to be expected. So Orion turns to Allie. I would require that you go get Javier. I will do his review later, but I don't like to repeat myself, so I would hope that he would come down here for this. If he doesn't wish to, that's fine. And Allie's going to say, okay. And she goes to get Javier. Wait for a little bit, and Javier does manage to come out and makes his way in. Still not quite ready to talk about stuff. Everybody seems to just let him be. Orion sees Javier. He says, okay, I guess you're ready for that talk. And he tells Allie to unlock the secret entrance. And Allie says, you're really gonna do this, aren't you? I honestly didn't think you would, but I guess it makes sense. And y'all see as this cabinet here and this desk slide over, and there is now a staircase right there. Hayakawa is also in shock that Orion does this, but doesn't say anything. He just kind of has a shock on his face. And Orion starts to head to the staircase and says, follow me, and all your answers will be given. And Jason, we can have our talk. As Jason walks up, he kind of whispers in your ear, Charlie, hey, you haven't ever seen this, have you? This little secret entrance?
Hey, man, I just go with the flow. Everything's crazy to me.
Oh, yeah, I just didn't want to make sure we were like walking into a sex dungeon or something.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah, you're 18. Never mind.
I mean, I've heard about the birds and the bees, but never dungeons being involved.
And as y'all come back and y'all start heading down the stairs and place your tokens accordingly, this is what y'all see.
It is a sex dungeon.
No, it is not a sex dungeon. As you come down the stairs, you see a tube, decently sized tube, with what appears to be a woman inside. This woman is radiating a variety of colors, and as you can look upon her skin, you realize it's not really skin. It's like looking at a woman made of stars, galaxies, nebulas, as she floats in this tube. Eyes closed, as if she's in some sort of stasis and unable to interact with anyone.
Who is she? She's beautiful.
Orion starts to pace back and forth. I kind of surprised that neither of you ever asked to see the engine ship of the ship. This is the power source for our entire operation.
Wait, is this?
And Orion's going to get close to the tube and put his hand on the tube. And you can see the woman slightly flinch as he does this. This is going to be a lot for everyone to take in. Hayakawa's already seen it. Charlie, Javier, I know this is your first time seeing it as well. But this is Dulcina, my wife, my love. And this is the current state she's in, thanks to Billy. She is also, well, I think I'd rather have her explain it than me. And Allie is going to appear, kind of float around the tube. Well, she's me. I think, according to Orion, I don't really act like her all that much. But I was born after Orion hooked her up to the ship. I just kind of appeared. I have her memories, but I don't act the same. I'm different. And it was a bit of an adjustment for Orion, but we got to know each other again. And she puts her arms up, and I don't know. I can feel her. She's in there, but we're not the same.
So you're more than just an AI. You're like some sort of representation of. I'm sorry, you said Dulcina?
Yes, that's where my name comes from. can't spell Dulcina without LAI.
Okay, I go with the flow a lot, but the amount of science fiction stuff that's turning into science fact in my brain is starting to kind of give me headaches.
Charlie,
I'm
you do start to notice that Luke is still not here.
Yeah, but I want to go to Orion and just be like, "We're gonna save her."
Thank you. It means a lot.
I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna say to Orion, it's kind of crazy you're showing us this without Luke here. What happened after y'all talked?
Yes. Luke. That's where she comes in. And he swallows a bit. You see, Luke, no offense to you, Charlie, or Javier, I decided Luke would be your leader.
A wave of relief is very obvious on Charlie's face, and he puts his hands on Orion's arms, like, and he's just like, "Oh, thank God!" And I'm gonna go, Luke.
And
Yeah, he helped us out when we were both freaking out back there, and among other things, that's a great choice.
the tube starts to shimmer with light as these particles start to come together to start to form the shape of a person. As these particles start coming together, they start levitating to the ground. As you start to see the formings of something you recognize. This is what appears in front of the tube as it levitates to the ground and touches. All the particles finish coming together. This is what you see
What's going on? Is this normal?
in reference art.
Oh, oh, wow.
Oh.
And you can place your token now, Luke, if you wish. You recognize this to be Luke. It's his Pit Viper form, but he's got this fancy new shield and these armbands, and Luke takes off his helmet to reveal that it is indeed him.
I run up and hug Luke. And I'm just like, you look awesome! That's such a cool armor. Oh, sorry. And I just kind of like back up.
Luke just kind of like awkwardly pats Charlie.
Luke, when you were, after you blacked out, you were given basically the same details that everybody else was while Orion was talking. But you got a little bit more. You got to feel Dulcina. You got to see a bit into the past. Although Orion's face is still obscured and he's basically just wearing what he is now in some places. Anytime he's not in Dulcina's memories, his face is obscured. You do see them. You saw them meet for the first time. You saw them hundreds of years later. They were happy. And you do see a familiar face to an extent. You see a blue man talking to them, tall, just like them. You can kind of tell that thanks to the robot next to him, that it's Zordon. And that they knew a version of Zordon. You got all this information, and you started to come back with this new power wavering over you. But you are here. You got your new shield and everything. Everyone is. Javier is even like, "Good for you, Luke." You know, he talks for a little second. It's just like, "Good for you," and then he goes back to being quiet. You demorph, and you know just about what everybody else knows. Now it's time for the talk with Jason. Jason does step forward. So you said that she's like this because of Billy. Orion's gonna nod. Yes. How exactly did Billy, well, evil Billy, do this to her? Orion explains that they were just going about through the cosmos, swimming in quotations, been their favorite nebula to go through. Really beautiful. Dulcina really liked it. When everything shook, Orion was too slow, and he says that I wasn't quick and wasn't focused. Next thing I knew, everything shook and she shoved me out of the way. Some energy struck her. And this weird state that I was in, it's like every version of her. They just started coming in on her. They collapsed on her. After this brief wave, I came to when she was just floating there. And I made a mistake. I tried to touch her. And when I touched her, something similar happened to me. I could see myself everywhere. All of it at once. And we all caved in on each other. I don't know how long I was unconscious. I was in pain. She was still floating, but I couldn't touch her. I used my energy to get her into something. I didn't know what to do with her. So I went to a close friend. All of you in this room know who that man is. I sought out Zordon of Eltar before he was in the tube. We came up with the idea to ironically put her in a tube. Put her in this kind of stasis she was already in. Keep her safe. Keeps her from erupting more energy. And that's all I could do. I eventually, with the help of Zordon, learned about what happened. Billy made it pretty obvious that it was him. He didn't really care who knew. I started making a ship with Zordon's help. Energy source was never right. And we both just kind of thought it at the same time. She's just full of it. Hoping that maybe if I run the ship enough, maybe it'll drain it out of her and she'll come back. But it also had the unintended accident of bringing to life the entire ship. Just a piece of her, though. Allie is different than Dulcina, but I can still see it. And that's why when Hayakawa accidentally shut her off, I thought I had lost her again. And we all know how that feels to lose someone. Maybe this makes up for it a little bit. Maybe y'all can understand where I'm coming from. And now we're here. I'm not doing it out of revenge. I'm doing it the way that it needs to be done. The way that she would want it to be done.
To try to prevent what happened from happening to others.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk up and I'm just gonna be like, I'm sorry that I compared you to Billy on that first day. This is nothing like that.
Orion is going to look at you. Well, thank you, Charlie. That means a lot. And he's going to grab your shoulder. Like I said, I hope this makes up for my early aggression.
I'm really, really sorry for what I said now that knowing what I know.
And y'all guys see Jason just kind of like pondering back and forth, stroking his chin, just kind of like, you could tell he's thinking about something.
Is there something I could roll to try to like insight him?
He's obviously pretty brought up. It's like a 7-6, Nova 6. It's pretty easy to tell that he's upset about something. He's not sure about himself.
Critical success.
So we are going to give that to you. You can tell that due to critical success, Jason is very conflicted right now. He is thinking hard about something. It's like he's been giving two paths, one of which is the one that y'all are talking about, and one that you aren't aware of. You can tell he is considering something heavy, and that someone may have given him another way.
Luke's gonna approach Jason and kind of gingerly put a hand on his shoulder.
You kind of spook him a little bit, not enough to where he jumps, but you just kind of like, oh, okay, you're there now. I still have questions for you, Mr. Orion, but I have a confession to make.
You talked to Billy, didn't you?
He turns to Orion. Yeah, I talked to Billy. First, I didn't know what to think. I mean, we're older than we were, but this guy is like in his 40s or 50s, something. But he was Billy. But I was thrown off. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like Billy. There's a darkness to him. He told me he understood what it felt like to lose a team. But more like a teammate. He said he lost Trini. Our Trini's still alive. She's a congresswoman next to Zach. But apparently she dies later on to Rita brought back in a robot body. And he knew I lost everybody. Mostly everybody. Half of who I knew as Rangers, but he tried to appeal to it. It's like he was targeting it. He just kept saying, we can bring him back. We can bring him back. I told him I'd think about it. He did say he'd come back to talk to me. And I really started to consider it. And why don't you show me this? I mean, he didn't shy away from it. He said that he was attacking the grid and it may have caused catastrophes, collateral damage, casualties. But I think he, even though he admitted it, he really didn't specify how many. But if he's destroying whole universes, that's an unfathomable amount of people. And I don't think I can get with that.
Currently, my universe, Charlie's, and Javi's are all in stasis thanks to Orion. But if that stasis slips thanks to Billy,
Yeah.
they all go poof. And that's just 3.
I think I'm starting to understand that it's okay to fight for what's holding on, but what's already gone, I think it's probably healthier to just grieve rather than try to pull it back from something that's unnatural.
I know Jason's gonna just start to mull everything and move around a little bit. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I want Tommy back. I want Rocky back. I want them all back. But not like this. Definitely not like this. If this is what it takes, you're gonna stand up to the grid and he's gonna march his way up there. Well, I guess we better be there to stop him. And he's gonna walk up to Orion. I still have questions, like I said, but whatever you need, whatever y'all need from me, I'll be there.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and just kind of nod, like smiling like an idiot, like excited.
Orion's gonna look at him. I understand you still have questions, but I'm glad you made this decision. Well, there's 2 ways you can help us. We can align our communicators, and when we need you, we'll call you. Probably for the final battle, or if we need someone of your caliber or strength. Or If you're comfortable leaving your Earth behind temporarily, you could come with us. See some of the worlds, maybe learn a bit. Whenever you're ready to go home, we send you home. You said your world has rangers. That's up to you. And it's up to the team. If they wish to have you aboard the ship, they can. But it's also a decision of your own making. I will not keep you from your home. If you feel it needs protecting, it needs protecting. And I will explain those questions you had later, if you don't mind. And Jason is gonna... Yeah. Scott Rangers. If y'all want me, I'll be here. Whatever I can contribute, I'll do it. And I know you said later, but I have to know. Where did you get those powers from? Well, I don't know if they're your powers, but you got the symbol. Can you at least answer that? I can't be the only one. If they've been learning about Ranger history, I mean, they gotta
I
know
have
what
the
that is.
same question. I have the same question, Orion. Where did you get the white tiger pauldron?
Whenever I first met Zordon, he had an idea. There had been other Rangers throughout history, in the vast cosmos in our universe. Zordon knew of a little planet in its early days called Earth. There were no Rangers nearby to protect it. Zordon went there and said it was beautiful, something worth protecting. He wanted to make a team of Rangers. And it's hard to say now. I'm the only me that exists now. But in my universe, where I was, me and Dulcina helped him make those Rangers. You would know them. It's the red Tyrannosaurus, the blue Triceratops, the yellow saber-toothed tiger, and the pink pterodactyl. But I just thought there could be a little more. We worked on a power together that would require a human, a pure heart, and the symbol we used came from me.
Oh my god.
I can't recall anywhere in the universe because they don't exist. I don't know if it's the same in those universes, if it was, but I told him it was a little too much, but he said it was perfect. A good way to end a good project among friends.
So you're not wearing the White Ranger symbol. The White Ranger was wearing yours.
To put it simply, yes. And there are other things I did that I planted. I did even make 5 swords of great power. We'll have to see if those swords still exist somewhere in the multiverse. I wonder if they do. We'll have to see. But I hope that answers your question. Jason's gonna look down, look back up. Yeah, that's definitely a story worth telling, but no offense. Kind of hoping you were Zordon or Tommy. I'd like to see him again. And Allie's gonna speak up. Well, if you're traveling with us and we're going through the multiverse, there's a good chance you might. We're gonna see a lot of things.
And I know we haven't put it to a vote yet, but my vote is that you stay with us.
Orion's gonna look at Luke. Luke, how do you feel?
As much as I would enjoy getting to know Jason, I don't think it's fair that we ask him to leave his Earth. He did mention that there had been more monsters about lately, especially with grid fluctuations.
It did look like the people of his world really counted on him too. Like Brennan.
Yeah. Well, out of character, Juan is not here to make his vote. Right now, is Charlie gonna stick with it? He wants him on the ship?
Okay, so out of character, I will also say that it would look better for him to be on his world if Billy does come back to contact him. Because if he's not on world and he has some way to detect that, he'll know that Jason has betrayed him already, and that could end up being a way that we could. And that's out of character, because Charlie doesn't think like that. James does. Charlie's not going to bring that up. Anyway,
Luke
So-
Luke thinks like that.
So out of character, we're not done yet with this Earth, by the way.
yeah.
So
Charlie just wants to make more friends. He wants more people on the ship, so it feels more like a home. So it feels like there's voices and footsteps, and it just feels like, and he's scared now that he's seen Adam and Tanya's bodies. He's scared now. Like he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want anybody to die. So he's seen what Jason can do, and from Charlie's standpoint, he wants Jason around at all times. So he's not changing
I
his
just
vote.
wanted to bring it up that we y'all are not done with this Earth yet. If y'all are like leave him here, so when Billy comes back, we are not done with that. If that's the reason why you're voting that, I just want to let y'all know now. We are. This is y'all are taking a break from the Earth, but y'all are not done with it yet.
Yeah, we'll come back to it eventually. Yeah, there's other
like I
problems
s-
places, but
But like I said, Juan is not here to cast his vote, and I'm not going to cast his vote for him. This whole thing that we're doing right now is a way to introduce y'all to, like I said, finding legendary rangers, and if y'all want to recruit them to the ship one at a time, depending on which role they're fulfilling. Jason would be an active bring him to battle role or call him to battle, but other people may be an assistant to Hayakawa or help with tech advancements, or they may be able to expand the ship, or they may be a magical person. Up to probably like 3 or 4, but only one is going to be someone you take to combat as
Yeah.
of right now.
Jason's guy.
vote-
Oh, go ahead.
Luke's vote is still for Jason to go home because we can contact him if we need him.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. But we're just going to say that for now, since Juan is not here, that Jason is going to say that y'all might be right. He's going to think about it for a little bit, but it will ultimately be Juan's vote. And yes, you are the leader, Luke, but I'm leaving this up to an out of game vote. So each of you is
No,
only one vote. So if Juan votes yes as Javier, Jason will come to the ship.
That's fair.
Well, for now, he just hangs out with us and learns a little bit more about the multiverse.
Yes. And back to character. You guys might be right. Let me think about it a little bit. There are other Ranger teams out there dealing with everything in the world, and Zach, Trini, Kimberly, and my Billy, the good one. So there are other people out there, but y'all might be right. But back on track, we know Billy's coming back. We can probably put it into this right now if we wanted to. We can jump him. We can lay me out as bait.
Are you
Say I
sure you'd
wanna-
want to do that?
At this point, I don't know if I want to talk to Billy or if I want to beat some sense into him if I can. I don't want to straight up kill him because I know that there's got to be some left of the good Billy in there. But I do want to talk to him. That begs the question. Yeah, from a tactical standpoint, I lost people and I'm a pretty powerful ranger on my world. I wonder if he talked to anyone else. And Jason's face lights up. Oh my God. He probably went to talk to Justin.
That would make sense. Justin also lost everyone on the team. He was really smart.
There's a reason for that. Justin, well, I guess now would be a good time better to tell y'all than ever. I don't know how much y'all learned, but since I'm going to be helping y'all, I guess I can tell y'all the story about what happened on my world and how everything unfolded. And Orion is going to look, well, I've been looking back in time. And apparently, Charlie had been given a burst of your memories, but fresh hand would always be better. And Jason's going to nod his head. So it all started back 97, 329, Faithful Day. Apparently, Divatox, if any of you know who that is, and Javier is going to come closer and speak up and say, yeah, she was the new appointed person to go conquer Earth by Dark Spectre. She was the one who came after King Mondo and the Machine Empire. Charlie will recognize those terms of the Machine Empire and whatnot.
Yes.
Well, apparently Divatox tricked Blue Centurion, there's a robo guy from the future, who she pretended to be Demetria. And she tricked him into believing that she was Demetria, and he showed her something called the Millennial Message. When Divatox saw this Millennial Message, apparently it showed the world being conquered, but then immediately being brought back with a team of Power Rangers in the year 2000. Well, she didn't like that. But she didn't recognize the team of Power Rangers, so she showed it to Dark Spectre. Dark Spectre said the only way to avoid it was to immediately put all forces onto Earth. So, everyone invaded. From Rita and Zed and the Putties, Machine Empire just freshly built back, and a new woman named Astronema. They brought some of their hardest hitting generals from Goldar, Ecliptor, Darkonda. As he says Darkonda, Charlie, it's going to click in your mind that Darkonda was the one who killed Tanya and Adam.
Right. Well, I didn't know Darkonda's name, but when he says it, it just clicks in my head.
Yes, you can now hear it. You're starting to get more, as Jason's talking, more of his memories are becoming clear.
Oh,
and
okay,
you're
okay,
starting
yeah,
to
that makes sense.
visualize things a little bit. So, and with through Adam's that and through the frog, the frog also helps you click that. So there's two things giving you that information. So they invaded all of them. They came down to Earth, and it was up to Tommy and them to stop them. It was just too much. They had 2, 3, 4, 5 hard hitting generals, and monsters from Cogs, Putties, and Piranatrons were everywhere, and the Roof's monsters. A couple of monsters grew giant, were stepping around the town. So Tommy and Kat jumped in the Turbo Megazord to try to stop him. While that, Rocky, Tanya, and Adam were left to try to defend the command center from being taken over. It didn't work out so well. Rocky was injured pretty bad, and his Turbo Morpher was damaged. And yeah, the command center at the top had been messed up for a while, but they had learned the location of the power chamber underneath it. Rocky went underneath it to try to get healing from the medical equipment and tried to get back in the fight, but Dulcia was unable to utilize his powers back and fix the morpher. So Rocky did the only thing he knew how to do. He still had a broken morpher, the Tyrannosaurus coin in it, and he thought he could energize it. But he needed a little help. So he smashed the cases, took the red suit and the red power sword, and charged in. Ultimately, it didn't work out for him. He tried to go help and try to bring the Tyrannosaurus sword back online to help Tommy and Kat, but just wasn't enough energy left. Adam and Tanya were defeated outside, from what I understand. And Tommy and Kat, they lived through the Megazord being destroyed, but they were surrounded by Ecliptor and Darkonda and a wave of Quantrons, Piranatrons. But apparently the Phantom Ranger was able to get Tommy and Kat's morphers after all of it was over. After hearing the defeat of the Megazord and all the invading forces, I tried to make my way back to the command center. I had to fight my way in, but I got back into the power chamber where me and Justin, who had became the tech advisor for the team after Billy left for Aquitar, we thought give me the power would be enough. Delcia said that combining the powers wouldn't be enough. 2 turbo powers wouldn't be enough. I'd be sending myself out there to die. And I was ready to die. I was ready to go out there and fight. And then, like it was fate, the Phantom Ranger and Trey from Triforia appeared, the Gold Zeo Ranger, whose powers I had once taken up before. And they were powerful. Trey was on his last leg, and someone had to take him. Well, I took them, and they turned me gold instantly after I got them. We all thought hope was lost, until Justin, the tech genius that he is, decided to take one of the good turbomorphers we had, strap it on my wrist, and have it be charged up by the Phantom Ranger's Red Ruby and Delcia's energy to contain the gold power. And it worked, and I became the Gold Turbo Ranger. I decimated everyone in my path on Earth. I was a little angry. Darkonda, I killed twice. He had 9 lives, or don't know how many he had left. And then I ran into 2 Rangers from space, named Andros and Zane, Red and Silver Ranger. We teamed up. We found Zordon. Ultimately, it was too late. Zordon told Andros to shatter his tube to send out a wave of goodness to cleanse the universe. Unless you were in another dimension. Andros shattered the tube, and a lot of evil was wiped out. Except for some things. Apparently, Rito only survived because Rita had a heart and saved her brother by sending him into another dimension when the Z-Wave hit. I also fought Darkonda one last time, but once we learned he had multiple lives, I just turned him into gold and shoved him out into space. And we, unfortunately, Astronema was Andros' sister. He didn't know it. There was a lot to take in that year. But we got it done. And Justin was still alive, and he took Stormblaster the last time I saw. He said he was going to fix the blue turbo power. And if he's got Stormblaster and the blue turbo power, then Justin was just as upset as I was. Billy probably targeted him too.
There's almost a guarantee that he did.
We need to get down there and find him, talk to him, make sure he hasn't been misled in some way.
Yeah. Let's get back down to Earth and let's contact him and see. Maybe he can tell us something about what's going on. And Orion does nod. Whenever y'all are ready to go, just let Allie know, and she will teleport you back down to your vehicles. Get in contact with Justin and make sure he hasn't talked to Bill, and if he has, try to talk him out of it. It's been 4 years. Justin was, 12 at the time? Jason kind of about 12, 11, 12. So he's about 16 or 15 now.
If there's anything I know about teenagers, they don't have the best impulse control.
Right. So if there's anything you need to do while you're here, I suggest you do it, but be quick about it. And get back down there and try to talk to Justin. I suggest you probably have a way to contact him, Jason. Yeah, I can probably get a hold of him. I know Billy was trying to offer him a job at his tech company. I could probably go through Billy and then go through him if I have to. All right, you have your plan. Jason will be accompanying you, obviously. Javier, if you wish, you can stay on the ship until you're ready. If you need more time, I understand. Javier is going to nod a little bit. Okay. Whenever you're ready to join them, we will teleport you down. Until then, there's not much work to do here besides wait. It'll be up to you to try to gain lead on Billy. Hayakawa is also here if you feel like you need him for a fight. Do not be afraid to call him. If things get overwhelming, you will need all the help you can get. Unfortunately, I can't do much for you. If you do need a quick teleport, I could probably do it. But Javier is still not there. Javier will need to go and assist you, but Hayakawa is currently out of things to do, so If you need him, don't be afraid to call him.
We're just gonna go talk to a teenager. How bad could it be? I shouldn't have said that, should I have?
3 hours later, Javier's dead. Luke's missing an arm. Billy cackling as he teleports.
I've-
No. But yeah. I think Luke's good to rock and roll.
Javier is going to stay behind, as previously stated, but if y'all are ready to go, Allie will teleport y'all down. Are y'all ready to rock?
What do you
Charlie?
say? What do you say, Luke? You're the leader.
Luke is the leader now.
I'll follow you.
I suppose you're right. Well, if you two are ready, then I am. I don't see any reason to sit around and wait. We need to get to Justin now.
We got to get there just in time.
Oh, damn it.
Allie with a notepad. Just in time. That's a good one.
Oh my god! I'm sorry, everybody.
No, it was clever. So I assume we're bopping down to Earth, yeah?
Yep. And as Allie's like, are y'all ready to teleport? And you all say, yep. And as y'all teleport, Jason says the famous words, back to action. You all teleport down back to where y'all left off in the park next to your vehicles that also came with you.
Heck yeah.
All right.
So we're back on Earth. Where do we touch down?
Touchdown back at the park. The vehicles appearing shortly after y'all do back where y'all were. On the top left of the map. Did I move y'all to the map? I did. Okay, good. So,
yes.
Y'all touch down. And Jason's like, let me see. Justin did have a communicator. Let me see if he answers. He may still have it. And Jason pulls up the communicator. Jason to Justin. Come in, Justin. This is Jason to Justin. You hear me, Justin? Still no answer. Okay. No answer from Justin quite yet, but someone does answer the communicator. You have never heard this person's voice, but this is how they introduce themselves. Hey, Jason, it's Billy. I think Justin was having some issues with his communicator. Last time I checked, but I could probably get in contact with him if you need to speak to him. What's going on? And Jason, that's a long story, Billy. I just need to make sure Justin's okay. And Billy responds, oh, okay. Well, if you need anything, you can let me know. Me and Kimberly are always ready to spring into action if you ever need us. Jason's going to respond. I know, Billy. Let's just keep this on the low for now. Billy responds, I get you. All right, well, just let me know, and I'll make sure Justin gets in contact with you. Jason drops his wrist. Looks like
sounds really nice.
Yeah, I told you. That's why I was kind of shocked when I first met other Billy. It's different. But he's gonna be a minute apparently. It's getting kind of late, and the sun is starting to set at this point on Earth. I'm a little hungry. Y'all hungry? Well, bye.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I know a good place.
I haven't eaten anything since this morning, and that wasn't a whole lot. So yeah, I'm down.
All right.
On the way, can we stop somewhere so I can get some more cigs? I only have like 4 or 5 left.
I mean, you should probably quit. I think there's a convenience store next to the place we're actually going to. I mean, we can either take one car or we can take both. It don't matter. They'll probably follow along either way.
Luke kind of walks over to Lightning Cruiser.
Well, the cars know where each other are, so if you lose me, Lightning Cruiser will get you there. And Luke's gonna get in Jason's gonna get in Blitzing Thunder. Charlie, who are you riding with?
I'm gonna get in with Luke.
Okay. Jason looks back out his window. Just try to keep up. And his car goes into the air.
Do I need to roll something to keep up with him? Because god damn it, Luke's gonna do his best to keep up. Now he's got like I don't know. There's a little bit of competitiveness coming out.
Okay, so let me look at Lightning Cruiser real quick. Let me see. I would say he doesn't really have a driving thing. You are driving Lightning Cruiser. Use your driving skill because both of them have 50 ground to 100 feet flying. So use your driving skill, but give yourself. What is your driving skill currently? What is the D2?
It's a D2, and my specialization is motorcycles.
Yeah, so you're not using that here. This is Lightning Cruiser. I would say you're getting a assistance or Lightning Cruiser. You can either take an upshift on the die to make it a D4, or you can have advantage. That's what I'll give you.
I think I'm going to take the upshift on the die.
So a D4? Yeah. You will roll a D4, and the difficulty
Real quick.
is... Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Can I do my thing where I do that heart of the team thing? It gives him another upshift on his thingy.
If you want to do that, I would say Luke would take the advantage, and you'd give him the upshift. If that's what... Or Luke can just take both upshifts. It's up to Luke.
As a free action, I can apply one shift up to a roll within anybody 60 feet of who can understand what I'm saying. So I can be like, you got this, keep up with him. And that'll be one upshift for you.
Okay, cool. I'll do the two upshifts, sure.
Okay, you'll do the two upshifts to a D6, and you are going to have to beat... He rolled an 18. You got to beat an 18.
Yeah!
Okay. God damn it!
Oh, you were so close. Now, you do have a lot of story points. You don't have to use it, but I am letting you know that you have 6 story points if you really are that competitive with this.
Like, we don't have to compete. We just got to get to the same spot.
Just Luke.
I'm using a story point. We have 6. I want to win this.
Just Luke and Charlie, like, gravity pushing them back. Luke barely holding onto the steering wheel. Just jet firing.
I should have taken a cab.
I want to win.
Just Lightning Cruiser giving its... What?
Me?
What'd you say? Yeah, what'd you say?
I'm screaming, I should have taken a cab.
While y'all are having this while Luke is intense, the speed is high. Jason's just in the air, just like listening to some music, like casually driving.
Meanwhile, Luke's like freaking Tokyo drifting.
Yeah, so roll again. You are gonna roll again, and then everyone drop their story points down to a 5. I'll do Javier's.
Am I applying the skill shift still?
Yes, you do get to do those because those are applied to the rolls. So
okay, come on, baby. Let's do it. I barely eke forward just a little more.
So, for story purposes, I'm going to assume you're not going to be competitive enough to roll again. I'm going to say you're probably done. Luke is losing in the race as Jason drives forward, and Luke's just like, we need to go more. And Lightning Cruiser's like, I don't know if I have any more. And Luke's just like, do it. And you barely eke forward because Lightning Cruiser was not wrong. He is still getting his stuff up to speed, and he did not have a lot to give. And Charlie is flattened like a pancake in the seat. Charlie's
holding on to the oh shit bar.
Yeah, there's an oh shit bar, and Charlie's holding on to it. But y'all go. As y'all start to fly, the sun starts to come down. It's a beautiful view. You're over the clouds. As you can see, the sun start to set. It's a beautiful setting. You start to feel a little better when y'all land at a diner as the night starts to come over everything.
Luke gets out of Lightning Cruiser, cool as a cucumber. Nothing at all has phased him.
Charlie looks very scared. And he's shaking.
Jason just casually, y'all okay?
I'm just still shaking. I'm just like, I think, yeah.
Okay. And like I said, the convenience store, and he points like right here. It's like right next to the parking lot. It's right there. If you want to go grab your smokes, me and Charlie here can go ahead and go grab a table.
I might want a cigarette too. Just kidding.
No, you don't want smoke, kid.
Okay. I'll just, yeah. Okay. Come on. Yeah.
And Jason and Charlie will go grab a table. It's gonna be y'all are gonna walk in. Just a woman there. I'm not putting tokens down for everybody. So you'll walk in, the lady's just like, just take a seat where you want to see it. We'll get right to you. And yeah, it turned into a southern man there at the end. I tried to throw in a southern charm in California. I don't know why that's my default for a small diner, but it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Jason's gonna motion on over here and to the back so he can keep a low profile from people recognize him, and that's where y'all are gonna sit. Top left.
Cool.
Now we go to Luke. Luke, how much money do you
Yes.
have?
Luke has $70.
You walk into a convenience store. You can see the different packs of cigarettes they have. You're not sure if they would even have the brand from your universe that you particularly buy. So to see if they do, high or low.
Let's go. Let's go high.
They do not.
Hey,
Oh, no, they do. I read that wrong. I thought that was 37.
they
57.
do.
They have your brand. You approach the counter, just a guy. Yeah, what do you want?
Can I get 2 packs of the American Spirits back there?
Yeah, that'll be $7.25.
Cool.
Here you go. He just gives them to you. Takes
Luke,
your
you gotta find a universe that has your cigarettes that have them for the cheapest. Like that's your like little side quest is like finding American spirits that are like still just $2.
He hands you your cigarettes and holds his hand out for the money.
It was
Unenthusiastic.
$7.25. It was $7.25, right?
Yes.
Luke gives him a 10 and waits for his change.
God, you gotta make me fucking do math. God damn. Okay, 10. That would be.
I would get 275 back.
Okay, yeah. All right, here's your change. 275.
Are you good, dude?
No, I work at a gas station and it's a fucking hellscape.
He's Californian.
Fair enough. I hope your day gets better.
It won't get better. Charlie's a fucking piece of shit manager.
Charlie? Okay. Well, I'm sorry your manager sucks. Uh, does your shift end soon at least, or?
Usually it would, but I'm covering for someone else to get some extra hours.
Gotcha. Right. What's your name?
The name's Stanley. Most of my friends
Stanley.
call me Stan.
Got it. Stan. Cool. Well, Stan, hopefully the rest of your shift goes by quickly. And you know what? Maybe this Charlie guy will like leave you alone for the rest of it. I'll see you around.
Be careful. Don't trust Charlies. They are snakes.
I mean, I don't
Snakes now.
I don't know about all that, but got it. See ya. See ya, bud. And Luke just kind of backs out of the gas station with his cigarette. He puts one of them. He puts both packs into his backpack.
I was about to like add something in there. It's just like most of my friends call me Stan, or you can call me by my online name, Xeno Shadowblade 69.
God damn. You gave him the voice of the Chosen, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
It's a fucking hellscape.
it's a fucking hellscape.
Luke is gonna slide in next to Charlie.
And as you'll sit down, Luke, Charlie's had a bit of a chance to look over, but he hasn't really been looking. He's just been talking to Jason about stuff and asking him about his teammates and other things Charlie would ask. And you get to the table and you look at the menu, which reminds Charlie to look at the menu.
Yes.
So you look at the menu. This is a pretty standard thing. You notice the title of it is Ernie's Diner. Luke would know who Ernie is from the backstory of the early days. And so
yes,
it's so would
and
Charlie.
I am trying to remember.
I'm thinking from my world we didn't have Ernie's yet, or at least I just moved there, so I never got to go to Ernie's. If he did own it in like the 80s, which isn't really that far from like 94, 95, so he might have. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is
owner of the youth.
Yeah, usually the owner of the youth center. So this is a little bit different. This is just a diner. You're not quite sure why it's a diner, but you feel like it's Ernie from, it rings a bell. You're like, oh, Ernie's, it's got to be that guy. But as you look over the menu, it's the standard stuff. They do sell juice, and, like they did at the juice bar. It's one of their specialties. They have like a Sonic drive-in kind of thing going, Juice is like their big sellers, but they have standard stuff, anything you could probably find at a regular diner. They have from burgers to steaks, breakfast menu items, kids menu.
I don't want to. Mr. Scott's buying, and I don't want to overreach. So I'm just gonna get like a grilled cheese with like a plate of fries.
You say this, and Jason looks at you. No, man, buy what you want. I mean, that you really can't be. I know you're 18, but like you're a Power Ranger. You gotta fuel up.
Okay, then. Instead of a grilled cheese, I guess I'll do a patty melt.
There you go. That's right.
Not even a huge difference.
He is gonna recommend man, make sure to get a juice. Ernie used to make these back at the youth center before it got destroyed, so it's really worth it.
Okay. This one says it's got energy boosting qualities, which I still feel kind of energetic after whatever Orion did to me. But I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt.
Hey man, whatever you want, no, I'm buying. Just eat what you want to eat. So Charlie's getting a patty melt with a. You said it was energetic, Charlie. What did you read that from? What kind of juice was that? What kind of juice drink? What did it have in it?
It was just sort of like beta carotene, like vitamins, things like that. But it could be like, it was just like a shot that you could get with different flavors. And I just saw the word like superfood, and I'm just gonna get like that one. I just pointed to like whichever one, because I'm not really drank a whole bunch of juices before. So I'm just gonna get one and just hope for the best.
The one you're actually looking at actually has a lot of lime and citrus flavors.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And Luke, what are you looking at?
Luke's he's just gonna get a sandwich.
Okay, just a regular sandwich. What kind of sandwich? What are you getting? Like a BLT or?
Yeah, he'll just get like a BLT with seasoned fries. And do they have Dr. Pepper?
I'm not even gonna make a roll for that. Yes, they do.
Yeah, Luke's gonna get a Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, that's interesting though. That is interesting. Okay, gonna get a Dr. Pepper.
Oh no, does it taste wrong?
No, I did not roll for Dr. Pepper. That was a completely unrelated roll. So,
Okay.
woman does come up to you, or a male waiter comes up to you and says, "Hey, how can I help you out today? You ready to order?" And Jason says, "I think we're ready to order." And Jason gets a breakfast menu item. They serve breakfast all day. It's going to be steak and 3 eggs. And he's going to get a pineapple juice large on the side with that. Y'all obviously get your food, and the waiter says he'll be right out. And he does ask if anyone would like a glass of water while y'all wait.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, you all get
Please.
glasses of water as the waiter walks away to prepare your food. When both of you roll me. No, wait, Charlie, roll me alertness.
Kidoki.
You're looking around. Luke, you can roll alertness too, but this is mostly for Charlie. Oof.
Critical success.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is going great. So, y'all are looking around the diner. Y'all are talking to Jason. Y'all are looking around, looking at the place, observing a different universe. When Charlie, you'll see a familiar person walk through the front door and approach the bar and sit down.
Well, Luke, can you let me out real quick? God, that lady that just walked in, she looks like a slightly older version of my mom.
Charlie, I know you probably want to go talk to her, but also you got to keep in mind this is not your actual mom.
Yeah, I did. When I saw her, I freaked out. I wanted to go say hi to her immediately, but you're probably right. That's
Like,
my mom. I'm just staring at her.
However, you both rolled a critical success. You both notice she is crying as she's talking to a person behind the counter who knows her, who is reassuring her around from behind the counter. They seem to be friends, and she is crying her eyes out.
Oh my gosh, she's really sad. What's the implication if I go talk to her? If I just try to comfort her?
You know what? You can go for it.
You sure about that? I was really hoping you'd hold me back.
Hold me back, bro. You're lucky he's holding me back right now. Luke lets him go. What are you doing?
I hugged that lady that looks like my mom.
So I will say this: if you have any questions about implications of multiversal stuff, you can always ask. You have 2 very big resources to ask that question for.
I'm gonna stand up. Can I sneak by her and go to the bathroom? And then
yes, she is crying her eyes out. She is crying her out. She would not know. Notice.
Okay, I'm gonna get on my communicator real quick in the bathroom. I want to call Allie.
Okay, call Allie.
Allie, come in. It's Charlie.
Yes, Charlie.
Something weird just kind of happened. A lady that I guess is my mom from this 1K12 universe just walked into the diner that we're in. I just don't know what the implications would be if I was to talk to her. She looks really upset, and just everything inside of me is screaming that I want to go hug her. And I really miss my mom, too.
Oh, we were afraid y'all would come across other versions of friends and family at some point, maybe even yourselves. But it's just your mom, and unfortunately, we don't know if you're alive in this universe or not. You may have never even been born.
Wait a minute. Allie, I think I have an idea.
Yes?
I'm going to try something. And then I'm going to pull out, my communicator's going to turn into my morpher. And I'm going to do, it's morphin' time. Companion, convert, house cat. And I want to morph into my disguise as the yellow cat ranger.
Flip your token.
There we go. That's thinking with your noggin.
All right.
Allie will come back on your computer. Did you just morph? What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna try something.
Well, you're morphed, so
free to monitor me.
I will. And the camera will pop out of your communicator, but it will cloak itself entirely.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up and I'm just gonna get beside her, and my yellow cat is gonna pop out and as a ghost and probably startle her. But I'm gonna be like, "Have no fear, ma'am. Are you in danger at all?
So first off, you
Do
walk
I-
out of the bathroom. Not
Yes.
that anyone paid attention to who you were, and now you're not coming back out, and all of a sudden a Power Ranger's here. But
Right.
everyone is. You got to understand, everyone's in shock that a Power Ranger's here,
Yeah. Could just
and
be
no,
a weirdo in a suit.
but they don't know what Power Ranger you're from, which is this weirdo in a suit. They're just like, that's not a Time Force Ranger. That's not a Lightspeed Rescue Ranger. What's going on? Then they see the cat, and they're like, so he's not just a weirdo in a suit, you know?
Yeah, he's got powers.
And the lady that is behind the counter that is talking to your mom does see you and just kind of stops as Charlie's mom, at least this version of his mom, stops crying, or is still crying, but looks to her right in confusion as she sees you and the cat.
Have no fear. I am the courageous cat, a superhero that's new to these parts. Are you in any need of assistance?
She's still crying and sobbing. She's just like, Are you a Power Ranger?
Um, something like that. You seem to be in distress. Can I at least offer you a hug?
I don't even know you.
The cat is like purring, like and looking at her, and I'm just to be like, I understand that, ma'am, and I want to give you as much space as you need, but I'm telling you, I'm really good at hugs.
She's still so confused. So I forget how we did this last time, but what did we roll for the cat to have you try to comfort someone? Oh, no, we had them roll against it. It was Javier and willpower, and he ultimately failed because he had no willpower at all. You roll anything on this table, but you make it a d6, and we'll add a +1 to whatever you get to make it a 7, which is your social. Just a straight social.
Thank you.
Whatever you get, we're adding a +1 to, because 7 is not a die. Not that you need it. So your skill die would be a 3, and yeah, it'd be 11 in total. But your skill die would be a 3, which is not a critical. So, but you still did pretty well. So the cat starts to purr and go over her and rub up against her, and ending up in her lap as the warmth starts to envelop her, and she starts to feel a certain type of way. She looks at you and she says, "Thank you. I don't know what this cat is, but it's making me feel better."
In the day's work, ma'am. And can I ask why you're crying?
She says, "I'm crying, but I'm also kind of happy in a way. I had been in this horrible marriage for years, and this is going to sound pretty bad, but my husband got in a car wreck, and he's gone. But I'm happy. I'm actually really happy. He wasn't the best partner. He was abusive. And to think I thought maybe having a child would fix that. I'm kind of glad we didn't have a child. It would have been worse."
Don't know how to handle this information. Holy shit. Um, I'm just gonna go. Well, that's an interesting way to look at it, ma'am. I'm glad that you are finding the silver lining.
"Thank you," she says one more time as she rolls over the cat. And she looks at you. Are you still offering that hug?
Yes, yes, sure.
She gets up. You meet her, and you hug her, hugging your mom from a different world, Charlie. You kind of cling a little tighter than a normal person would hugging a person.
Yeah.
You're starting to think to yourself that you hope you can save your real mom. I mean, even though doing the implications, you don't exist in this universe. But It feels good. She even hugs you a little tighter. Something about this just feels right for both of you.
Jesus, dude. Oh my god.
She lets go and she says, I've never seen a Power Ranger like you before, but I'm glad people like you exist. Thank you for helping a strange woman who's crying at a countertop.
Anytime. It was my pleasure.
And she quickly gathers herself in her thing, says goodbye to her friend, and her friend behind the counter says she'll call her later to make sure she's okay. And she looks at you one more time, right in the door as she's about to leave, and you just for a moment. She looks like the mom you left behind.
Jesus.
She walks out the door.
Shouldn't have used a picture of my real mom for this.
You're the one who sent it to
I
me.
know. I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. Okay. I'm gonna run out and go the opposite direction and get like behind the cars.
Yeah.
And then be like, unmorph a dactyl. I'm gonna unmorph.
Luke just watched this entire thing unfold from the corner.
And I'm gonna walk back in casually, like a couple of minutes later.
As you get there, your food is on the table.
My face is like wet with tears, and I just kind of wipe it off, and then I'm just like, man, this looks great. And I just start stuffing my face like I haven't eaten in days.
Charlie, did you?
I mean, it was a little weird. I found out that her husband died, and that's kind of like a version of my dad. But you know, I don't even exist anymore. My mouth is full.
I understood. I understood. Like, she found out her husband died, which is like a version of my dad.
It's kind of weird to find out that my dad did die, but he was kind of an asshole anyway. But I mean, I still love him, but it's weird to find out. I don't know that my mom would have been so quick to be okay with it, but I mean, I just kind of swallow, and I'm just like, man. But honestly, that was I don't know if I should have done that. This whole thing about how I handled Frightwing and how I just handled that. I don't know if I'm jumping into things that I shouldn't or making weird decisions, and I'm gonna start looking to you guys to maybe calm down a little bit.
I mean, I don't think you really did anything wrong there. You comforting her, and she didn't know it was you, so I don't think that.
If I'm really honest, I think that came from a selfish place. I just wanted to hug my mom, and I didn't care what it was going to do to the universe or this world. And it's kind of making me rethink everything that I thought I knew whenever I saw Dulcina and whenever I've been thinking about Billy. Everything just seems so black and white when you hear about it in just like a sentence or something, but when you are in the moment, everything's a lot tougher. Let's just start shoving fries back into my mouth. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be so quick to. I don't know. I'm just gonna eat for now.
Luke just kind of gingerly pats your back and like hands you a couple of napkins from the little napkin dispenser.
Yeah, because I got stuff all over my face.
Y'all finish up your meal. Jason pays, and you'll go back out to the parking lot to try to contact Justin one more time. You each got a pretty good meal. If any of you have any health points that have not been recovered, you may fill yourself back up.
I'm gonna fill myself up.
Including Jason. So you'll go back out to the parking lot.
Luke lights a cigarette.
A good meal. Jason tries one more time. After a bit of silence, someone does come back. It's not Billy, the voice you heard before. It's someone a little younger. This voice comes and says, yeah, Jason, sorry about earlier. My communicator wasn't working. What do you need? I'm here to help if you need my help. Jason just says, hey, Justin, I just need to get with you and talk to you about a few things. We got some stuff going on. Might need your help. Justin comes back with, if it's technological, wouldn't you just go to Billy? I mean, he's a little smarter than me anyway, so figured he'd be the best choice. But if you really need my help, I'll meet you somewhere. Jason says, are you going to be able to have the ability to come back to Angel Grove? I mean, do you still have Storm Blaster? Justin cuts back. Yeah, no, I still got Storm Blaster. He can fly me over there, no issue. Although it's probably not best to leave tonight, I can meet you somewhere tomorrow in the daytime. Just, I'll communicate you back in the morning. We can meet then, all right? Jason says, all right, copy that. Just radio me whenever you're heading this way. Says, all right. I don't want to communicate over airwaves about the whole situation in case Billy's listening in. So we're going to meet with Justin in the morning, and we'll go from there. I don't know if y'all want to go back to your ship or what you want to do. I'm probably going to go stay in my apartment. Get a good night's sleep.
I don't know if I want to test how many times we can teleport back and forth to the ship. And I think I'd rather be Earthside in case something happens here. So, Charlie, how do you feel about finding a hotel?
Scandalous.
Yeah, I mean, the points you just made are valid. Orion seems to be giving it his all just to keep our universe like okay and everything, and I just don't want to tire him out or Allie or any of that stuff. And this planet's not so bad.
Jason, do you know of any like decent hotels nearby or
Well, I mean, there are some around here. Depends on how much you're willing to pay, I guess.
I mean, how terribly expensive would it be for just one night?
On the cheapest end, probably about like $60. On the highest end, probably like 140.
Jay, it is the year 2001.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I'll say high or low to see if you find a cheap hotel or if you find an expensive hotel. And I'll lower the numbers. It's not going to be 120 a night, but high or low to see if you find a cheap one or if you find an expensive one. With room.
Well, I mean, I only got $60, so high, I guess.
You're lucky it's a 70. You'll find a cheap hotel, 45 a night.
I've got
Cool.
a little bit of money.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Hey, do we need to start like trying to find ways to make more money?
Well, considering the fact that I am almost broke now, that's a question for Orion in the morning. For now,
Yeah, let's just get
So-
some rest.
They'll get in the hotel. You have a good night's sleep. Wake up in the morning. You see out your hotel window, Lightning Cruiser and Blitzing Thunder were in the parking lot the whole night. So Jason was not far. However, Luke,
yes.
your first night being asleep after acquiring the powers of Lightning Cruiser.
Oh, God.
You go to sleep, and as if you are a spectator, a person watching, see a little more about something similar to what you experienced. You see the familiar face that you learned about: Jason, Zach, Trini, Billy, and Kimberly in the power chamber. You're standing there. They can't hear you and you can't interact with them. The events are unfolding before you. As a light appears from the top of the command center, as a figure comes down, as the figure lands, you can see that it is the White Ranger. He takes off his helmet to reveal Tommy. All of his friends are happy that he's back, and he is the White Ranger. Zordon then says the words, I assume that all of you are happy with the new appointed leader of the Power Rangers. Jason says, this is great. You witness this, and then for a moment, you're witnessing all this, realizing you just went through something very similar. You were appointed a leader, you got some fancy new stuff, there was a tube involved. Then for a moment, everyone's happy in a circle. You're looking at them as a spectator. When Tommy's head turns, it's like he makes direct eye contact with you. A smile on his face. And then Charlie dreams about, like, I don't know, cats playing bingo.
And a frog is in there.
No, I don't know what Charlie dreams about, but I needed to go ahead and get that out of the way. It was your first night sleeping. And also, when you wake up, instead of your communicator, if you wear your watch, do you wear your watch? Does Luke wear his communicator in his sleep? Yes or no?
For now, he is because of the mission.
Okay. Well, when Luke wakes up, his communicator is already turned into the Turbomorpher. He didn't do it. Nothing happened. He just wakes up and it's as the Turbomorpher. Luke quickly shakes his wrist and it goes back to the communicator. So y'all wake up and see Jason's car next to Lightning Cruiser in the parking lot of the hotel. And you make your way down. As you make your way down, Blitzing Thunder's trunk pops open. And the stairs are in the trunks.
We descend, I guess.
We go in.
Yep. Y'all descend.
Luke would have gotten a cup of that shitty ass hotel coffee.
Yeah, that's fair. Take a minus.
And he's smoking on his way down.
Okay, roll a d4 for damage based on all this. I'm joking. It's a joke. Saying hotel coffee and smoking cigarettes is a bad combination for your health. So take damage, but you're good.
No.
So y'all come in. Jason's not quite out yet. And then you do hear some murmurings around, some stuff going on. It's like he doesn't know you're here yet, because you also hear the shower turn on. You're all regretting sleeping in a hotel because you didn't fucking shower.
Luke would have showered in the hotel.
Yeah, we would have showered.
Okay, fine. Yeah, y'all, but you put on the same clothes, so you're not as clean as you could be.
I keep doing that. I keep putting my clothes on.
Yeah, so Luke's clothes are a bit crumpled. I don't know how much attention Charlie would have paid to Luke, but he would have noticed, because Luke probably would have just slept in his boxers, that Luke's got a couple scars.
I thought you were going to say he was hung. Like, why are you telling him
No.
And Charlie feels some kind of way.
Yeah, he's got a massive cut. No. He's got a couple scars here and there.
Charlie most likely kept his left you like completely private. Like he really kept his like in his corner and didn't like look over at you. Like if he assumed you were like changing or anything like that, he kept his head down.
Charlie's got this fucking massive ass back tattoo for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like a skull. It's the Death Ranger.
It's the Death Ranger.
No.
I didn't have that before, I swear.
Whenever I punched through him, I thought I felt the sting on my back.
So, as you're waiting on Jason, Charlie, your communicator rings. Beep, 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 beep.
What's going on? Hello?
It's Orion. Hey, Charlie. I remember when I told you that I had something to give you.
Yeah.
Where are you currently?
I am inside of Blitzing Thunder.
Jason's car.
I don't know if you can give me anything inside this TARDIS-esque situation. And yes, I know what a TARDIS is, because Doctor Who is very old.
Yes. Did you try asking Blitzing Thunder if it would be okay? They are sentient.
I am aware that people have been talking to the cars, but I have not yet done so.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, if you don't feel comfortable step outside. I am unfortunately unable to do this in person like I wished, but I had to dig it out. So I will be
Alrighty.
teleporting it directly to your hands.
Okay, I go out the trunk and stand outside, and I let him know. All right, I'm outside. You got my
Okay.
coordinate?
Yes. Hold your hands out and cup them.
I do that.
And as you do that,
A jar of
light
pee.
particle, light,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
light particles start to form something together.
Whoa.
I was only able to find this photo as the regular one, so imagine this is a gold one instead. But this
What the-
appears in your hands.
Whoa. Whoa.
I was only able to find the silver one without a coin. I could have taken a picture of mine. Don't know why I didn't do that. Now I'm stupid. But imagine it is a gold one like Tommy used for his dragon or white tiger.
Whoa, Orion, thank you so much. And I'm guessing Hayakawa, thank you?
No. Although I did have Aikawa touch it up a little bit to make sure it was still functional. When I created the powers for Zordon, he did create me a morpher of my own that I could give to someone if I wished to use some of my power again to create my own rangers. But like I said, I ended up creating swords of power instead of using the morpher. It had been
All right.
tucked away, and I thought since you had gotten that coin that you should have the ability to use it.
Orion, this is your morpher?
Yes.
Are you sure you want to give that to me? This.
I'm doing what any leader should do, trusting his rangers and trusting them to do what needs to be done for the greater good. I would be a bad leader if I didn't give you the tools to do your job.
Thank you so much. I want to try this out right now.
I recommend you go back into Blitzing Thunder before you do that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you again.
And you go back in. Do you show Luke your new acquired morpher?
Yeah, I'm immediately like, look at this. Orion gave me a morpher, his morpher. He said I could use it now that I have, my coin. And then my frog pops out onto my shoulder and then hops into my hand and turns into a coin. And I go, oh, look at this. It fits right into this little slot. And I slide it in. I go, what do I do? How do I do this?
You do feel the frog call to you, and it says all you need to do is point the morpher forward and say Black Ranger power.
Okay. Should I do it?
Also, you have to say it's morphin time and then say it, by the way.
Yeah. Should I do it?
Go for it.
It's morphin time! Black Ranger power! How do I look?
Luke, you will notice this does not have the mastodon head. It does have the head of a frog on the helmet. Kind of fits Charlie's whole cute companion aesthetic in a way.
Luke smiles at Charlie. You look good, kid.
I feel a lot stronger. I actually even feel smarter somehow. I'm not sure how that works. But this is awesome! And I start like punching and doing like roundhouse kicks. Where did I learn how to do that? This is amazing. This feels way different from the yellow cat.
It looks pretty different.
Yeah. So how does Charlie? So Charlie's feeling pretty good, isn't he?
Yes.
And you can stay like that if you want to, or you can demorph. It's up to you.
I kinda wanna see what Jason does when he sees this.
Okay. Well, after a few bits in here, Jason, you hear him make footsteps. Sounds like he's going through drawers in his closet, getting clothes. He's gonna come out with the same black shirt and jeans, but they're different clothes. I swear. I want to say he has a tank top on now. I want to say he has a tank top on and the jeans, or maybe
Earring.
he's gonna come out, not quite see because the TV. He's gonna step around, see, like, oh hey, you guys are already here, and he's gonna look at you, Charlie, in the Black Ranger suit.
Check it out! I'm the Black Frog!
I mean, I wasn't there for this, but I expected a mastodon head. That's a frog head on your helmet.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything about me has been kind of weird to everybody else.
You do have a frog coin in your belt in the front of your uniform, and the buckle is gold. And Jason's like, wait a minute. Only Tommy had a gold buckle.
Orion said it was his morphers, so he gave it to me. Most likely, the Tommy that you knew probably had that morpher, this morpher. I don't know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Orion did say his Zordon and him built their coins, and he did make a coin. Him and Zordon made a coin using part of Orion's power. I mean, it makes sense, but hey, I mean, the gold morph is cool. It looks good on you.
I'm gonna unmorph and
Power down.
power down.
Yep, that's how you say it. Power down.
I'm gonna go power down, and then I'm gonna look at Luke and be like, I'm gonna say, "Do you want to check it out?" And I'm gonna toss him. I'm gonna not toss it to him. Like, I don't want to be cavalier with it. I want to just hold it out to him and say, "You want to look at it?"
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Luke looks at the morpher. What does it look like?
So it's just like the one I sent, except it's gold and it's shiny gold instead. And now it's got a frog coin in it. Now, what was once a weathered frog coin is now a golden frog coin. Forgot to mention that too. The frog coin has now been fully energized, being used into a morpher, and has taken on a gold appearance to try to match the gold aesthetic on the morpher.
Nice.
And no need to worry, because yet again, the morpher itself with the coin turns back into the black frog, who now, instead of having slightly red undertones, has slightly gold undertones. Kind of like a flat gold. Not a shiny, but a little bit of flat. I mean, I guess the frog is shiny, but you get what I'm saying. It's got some gold hues instead of the red that it had before.
Little Adam, you look awesome.
Just a little throat thing punching out as it looks at you. Just a little croak.
I pet his head and give him like a nuzzle. I nuzzle the frog.
Very cute.
Jason's like, well, after all this is wrapped up, it is probably at least 10:30 in the morning at this point. Y'all slept late. You had a rough day. Y'all didn't wake up as per usual. You all just kind of slept in the hotel and enjoyed it for a little bit. And after, Charlie getting his morpher and y'all coming downstairs, Charlie getting his morpher and Jason showering, it's probably around 10:30, 10:45 in the morning. And Jason says that he still hasn't heard from Justin yet, but he's a teenager, so he probably slept late.
I mean, I did.
Yeah, but it's also March, so shouldn't school be going on?
And then Jason, Justin graduated like 3 years ago.
Ah,
Shortly after, he just buckled down, and he was really smart. Billy even graduated a year and a half early.
gotcha.
But Justin just wanted to get out of school and wanted to do other things, and he was smart enough to do it. He's even got a master's.
Man, must be nice.
Luke's eyebrows kind of shoot up at that. Damn.
He was going to go for a PhD, but he really just wanted to work for Billy's company. And after getting a master's, the board didn't really have a chance to say no to it.
I
Hey,
mean,
Speaking
yeah.
of Billy, I know we haven't really spoken about the 1K12 Billy, but are we actively avoiding him for any reason? Maybe we could get some insight if we talk to him.
We could. I mean, look, it kind of leans on the counter. With all everything this Billy's done, I don't really want to put anyone else in the way, If y'all really want to, we can go see Billy and talk to him, maybe get a little insight into how he's feeling, but I don't know. Maybe
Yes.
maybe he's even talked to Billy and he's just not telling me. Would Billy recruit himself?
That's a good question.
You said Trini's alive in this world too, right?
Yeah, she's alive.
Would he try to contact her, even just to see her, like I did with my mom?
I don't know. Y'all are the expert here.
Oh, I don't know
No,
about being
don't,
an expert on
don't
anything. Yeah, I don't know about.
I think let's just start with Justin, see what we can learn from there, and then depending on how that interaction goes, how that conversation goes, maybe we branch out. But I think I think let's just start from there.
Understood.
I don't want to pull people into something unless we need to.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, let's I guess let's go outside and I'll go ahead and try to contact him again. Maybe he can pick somewhere to meet us. Sound like a plan?
Sounds good.
You'll head outside. Just gonna plop y'all back at the diner for now. I'll step outside and Jason tries one more time. Hey Justin, you on your way, pal? We're waiting here. Nothing. And then just out of nowhere, some static followed by Jason, I've been jumped in the mountain range outside of Angel Grove. I need some help. There are putties everywhere.
Oh shit.
All right, Jason. All right, Justin. We're on our way. Lightning, or no, blitzing. You got a lock, and just the blinking of the lights and the revving of the engine. All right, y'all guys follow up. We got to go save Justin.
On it. We pilot the lightning cruiser. Let's go, baby.
Are you trying to race him again? Please say no.
No, I'm not trying to race him again. I'm just trying to get there as fast as we can.
Okay.
Safely.
Pop blitzing thunder on there. Both have a
Safely
lock.
is objective.
And y'all are heading towards the mountain range here, and y'all were probably in Middleton Heights. So y'all racing pretty quick. It is going to take a few minutes to get there. If y'all want to prep anything before you go into combat for the first time, do you want to call Hayakawa? Because I really don't want to roleplay Javier in combat if I don't have to.
Yeah, let's call Hayakawa.
Okay, so do you ring Hayakawa?
Hey, Hayakawa, you busy? That's in Japanese.
In Japanese, he says, "Oh, thank you, very nice to have someone who can speak the language." And he continues to say in Japanese, "What you need?"
We're heading out of Angel Grove to help out Justin because he's been ambushed. And since Javi's down for the count, we figured we'd ask you to tag along, help out a bit.
He says, "Finally, my time has come," in Japanese. And he says, "I'll be right there." And then he hangs up.
In English to Charlie, well, Hayakawa's on board.
Awesome. How about Javi? And I know that Javi's not coming, but Charlie would ask.
He's still down for the count, so he's not coming along.
Hey, that's understandable. If we get back, we're gonna have to do something special for that guy.
I agree.
As y'all start to go into the mountain range, as y'all start to see the action below. Either of you're getting more familiar with how Turbo Rangers look, so it's safe to say that is the blue Turbo Ranger. And he is surrounded by putties. Y'all will be landing. Yep.
We gotta get down there.
Y'all will be landing right next to Blitzing Thunder. Luke, if you want to have Lightning Cruiser be able to be in combat, you can place Lightning Cruiser right next to Blitzing Thunder.
Yes, I would like Lightning Cruiser to kick some ass.
Okay. Y'all come out to on the side of the vehicles. Place yourself on the side of the vehicles accordingly. And as y'all land, a bolt of lightning or a teleportation effect comes down as Hayakawa appears.
Mr.
In Japanese,
Hayakawa,
Luke goes, "There's our boy."
I'm glad you made it.
Hayakawa lets out a Yosha! And says, let's get down to business.
To defeat the Hun.
Okay, so here, before we start combat, there are rewards for team morphing before combat starts. If you all choose to morph right now, and yes, Hayakawa and Jason will be morphing as well. If y'all choose to morph right now, y'all get bonuses such as re-rolling initiatives, gaining advantage on first turns, and if you are next to each other, you can also get team-based attacks, even though you aren't exactly flanking. Basically, you will add a +1 to the die or something that's to my discretion of what y'all do as a team attack. I can see Luke's already morphed.
Yeah, I mean, we would. I assumed we were all gonna morph.
So yes, Jason does say he pulls his necklace off with the turbo key, flips it out. It's morphin' time! Shift into turbo! Gold Ranger power! And he revs this thing and he turns into the Gold Ranger, the Gold Turbo Ranger.
Going off
Yep.
of his, I'm gonna go Black Ranger power, and then I'm morph.
Luke pulls out his Pit Viper morpher. Tap into the Fury, Nature Fury, Pit Viper.
And then Hayakawa, the biggest smile on his face, just says, Keitaiza! MEGA Mega. Install! And he turns into Mega Silver. And he throws his arm up, Mega Silver!
Whoa! And I walk up to him and I'm just like, "You look awesome!"
He looks at you, not bad yourself. Is that a frog?
Yeah, I think so.
He's like, it's so cool to see these new powers and abilities. And then, obviously Luke has his upgrade, and Hayakawa's just like, you look good too. That looks nice on you. And now it's time to get down to business. Is everyone fine with where they are located for combat?
Luke would come up a bit, I think, but yes.
So first up is Hayakawa. He is fucking ready. And he's going to come right at this Z Putty. It's the closest thing to him. He's been waiting for this fucking shit. He's like, finally, I get to show my moves to. Well, y'all know y'all aren't youngsters. Y'all are about the same age as him. And he's gonna go ahead and go for the heavy stuff. He's gonna pull out his silver blazer sword. He's just gonna go full tilt into this. Come on, make it happen, baby. Critical.
Holy
Let's go. Good thing you used that. So Hayakawa runs up to this thing, really excited, pulls out his silver blazer, flips it in the silver blazer sword, and just digs into this Z Putty. He actually fucking one-shots this Z Putty with a 2 sharp and a 1 energy damage as he slices right across it diagonally, cutting into it. He flips around on his knee as the putty explodes, because cool guys don't look at explosions, don't you know?
We're calling him from now on.
You know what's coming. You know the gift that's coming.
Mark me down as scared and horny.
Yep. Hayakawa just decimates this thing. And then with his free action, he just looks over the putties. He gets back over. He says, and you guys are next. And he ends his turn. Going to Justin.
Whoa.
Justin is in the center. He's not feeling quite to himself. Justin is not feeling it at all. He is ready to get the fuck out of here. But he is not afraid of a fight. So Justin is going to run up to this putty here, and he's going to try to punch it with his turbo strike. Success! So he punches this regular basic putty and deals it with his turbo strike, and it goes down for the count in 1 blow. And then Justin's going to sit there, coming his turn, coming to Blitzing Thunder. Blitzing Thunder is going to have some use extra movement to get around everybody. Oh, I mean, there's a tree. Actually, no. Yeah, he could kind of fit. So he's got 50 feet. He's going to drive up to this putty. It's a 13. Blitzing Thunder is going to use Ram. He's going to try to run this bitch over.
Get him.
And it hits anyway. This putty gets fucking flattened. like a pancake as it gets ran over by Blitzing Thunder, giving it an X. Jason's up next, and Jason's just going to blitz to this putty, and Jason is going to use his turbo hands. Damn, y'all are just fucking decimating these goddamn things. I'm realizing I should have added more putties. So that's a stun one. Jason lands into a fury of combos into this putty patroller, knocking it down, turning it back into stone, into little stone pebbles. It is now Lightning Cruiser's turn.
He can get to this putty.
Yes, he can.
Go round. Oh, Lightning Cruiser's a little rusty.
He's still a little rusty. Is that all he does this turn?
Yes.
Charlie, it is now your turn.
I run up beside Justin, I pull out the power axe, and I'm like, time to try this out for size. And I do the thing. You said difficulty, wait, he's a super one, so 16?
That's a Z putty. His toughness is a 16. Yes, they're using it as the gun.
Yeah.
Okay, so just roll it, and whatever the alternate effects are is what I think what the guns are. You miss, however.
Yeah. Whoa, I'm not used to the power of this thing.
Yep. And is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right, Luke, it is now your turn.
Okay. So Luke, even with his speediness, cannot get to anyone currently. So he's gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
What range is your blaster?
Well, no, he's gonna run up and he's gonna shoot, but he wants to also, just in case he misses, be able to get in melee next turn.
That's true.
So he gon' blast. It's a 16, right?
Yep.
Oh shit! I have an auto snag on this because I don't have anything in
Targeting.
targeting. Do I? I don't. That's okay. I failed. Yeah, Luke's not a gun guy. That's okay.
Okay. You don't want to reroll that with story points, or are you good?
That's fine.
Okay. So, seeing everyone get fucking decimated, this putty is going to run over here and activate Putty Fusion with his Z Putty brethren. I'm going to have to reroll it anyway because it's a different creature. But, so they combine into a Super Putty. And one of Super Putty's abilities is that he can call more putties. Thank God, because y'all had 2 cars and shit, and I definitely did not put enough on here. Luckily for y'all, it has to make a choice between 2 Z putties or 3 regular putties at a time. So it is going to pick 3 regular putties. He can use this twice per combat, so if y'all don't get to an next turn, he may call more. Thank God I did this a long time ago, or else I was fucked. God, Jesus. So it goes back to the regular putty patrollers because they are still putty patrollers and they are still their turn. So this putty patroller is going to lock up to Luke. Luke, let's hope your luck is better than it was last session or session before.
Oh yeah, here. Because I forgot about this last time. So I have a roll perk that the first attack that targets me each round has a snag.
Okay, yeah. So this will have a snag. What is your? He's just going to walk up and try to use his clay hands. What is your toughness?
It should be 18. Yeah, it's 18.
18. He has a snag. He does not hit. He tries to woo you, and you just tank it. It does nothing to you. Your new shield giving you bonuses. You can feel the rewards already coming in from being the leader. That putty hits that shield, and it does jack shit. Next putty's going to come up. He's going to target Charlie. Charlie, what is your toughness?
My toughness right now is 18.
18.
Oh, damn.
Failure. This putty does the same thing, except you dodge out of the way. You're feeling your ninja abilities a little bit. You're just like, man, you gonna touch me? I'm a ninja. You know?
frog stance or whatever. I don't know.
And this other putty is just realizing that it got brought into a slaughterfest and is not going to do anything. There are no Z putties, so I'm going to use the Z putty as the super putties. I'm just going to leave him at 9. I don't want to re-roll again, so we're just going to use the Z putty as the super putties thing. So the super putty is going to make his way towards the center and is going to target Justin. He's actually going to try to slam Justin.
Come on and slam. And welcome to the gym.
It does not hit Justin, unfortunately. That is not
Unfortunately.
this putty does not hit Justin at all. And then it is back to Hayakawa's turn. And he's starting to feel jealous. Y'all are hugging all the putties. He wants the super putty. He wants this action. What is super putty shit again? Hayakawa's still feeling himself. That 15 toughness isn't going to matter to Hayakawa because Hayakawa is going to hit him with the silver blazer sword again. Just going to pull out his sword again. He's going to go into this putty. God damn, I'm not going to use his last story point, though. Hayakawa goes with super putty, and super putty just tanks it. Hayakawa being slightly surprised. It's always worked before in the past. Why isn't it working now? And he ends his turn. It is now Justin's turn again. Justin does not like the fact that super putty tried to hit him. Ooh, okay, that is a lot. Okay, so Justin pulls out this turbo sword, critical success. So Justin not only whips into this super putty with some sharp damage as he strikes it multiple times, cutting into it. It also takes 2 energy damage. He did not prerequisite him to target the other putty patroller. If you guys have forgot about that effect, so it's just the 1. So overall, the super putty is brought to almost below half. Oh no, that is below half. The super putty's looking fucked up now. It's now Blitzing Thunder's turn. And Blitzing Thunder thinks y'all has this, so he's just not going to do anything. Jason is going to try to make his way. Jason's had enough. He's going to pull out his golden turbo staff to crack it across his skull. 13, submit. And a success with 2 stuns. So this putty goes down as Jason whips out his staff. Hi-ya! And whips it down its head, turning it back into little pebbles. It's now Lightning Cruiser's turn.
Tokyo drifting style. Do 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 to hit this putty. There we go.
Damn.
Obliterate this
Jeez.
man. He Tokyo drifts into this putty.
Nice.
Sends him flying.
Lightning Cruiser kills this putty, all that. Now it is Charlie's turn. Got 2 targets left.
I don't want the super putty making more putties, but I don't know if I can hit him. And I do like doing my move that allows people to have advantage. So I don't know what to do right now. Now I'm gonna use my power axe instead of as a gun. I'm gonna use it as an axe.
Okay.
Booyah!
Critically successed.
Karma.
You gain an alternate effect of 1 energy. So how do you kill this thing? Do you have a blunt 1 and an energy of 1?
These things have like multiple heads, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna be like, this thing was a powerful gun. I don't think I'm used to that. Maybe I'll just use it as an axe, and then I just bring it down. Like, wait, is this thing dead or?
You're
Did I
killing
kill
it. You have a blunt
I
1
am.
effect, and then you have an extra energy damage for critical success.
Okay, I
Because
just
I
bring
have
that
to
axe
warp
down
you for
right in
critical.
between the 2 heads, and I'm just like, y'all need to split back up, and I just fucking bring it down, and it just
That's cool.
demolishes it.
Yeah, so the super putty is dead. No more threat of putties. So is that your turn?
That's my turn. Well, there's a putty right there in front of Luke.
Yeah, but Luke should get this.
That's okay. Luke's gonna spin around this guy so he's flanking with Hayakawa for advantage.
Okay.
Let's go, baby. There we go.
So how do you kill this putty?
So Luke goes to like do a spin kick on this thing, and like the thing kind of like just tanks it. So he pulls his leg back, readjusts, and does like a turn jump crescent into this thing's head.
Okay. Y'all finish up combat. Everyone closing in around Justin, including the cars. Justin just says, thanks, guys. I thought I was kind of in my depot there. They kind of just ambushed me.
Justin, it's nice to meet you.
And it's nice to meet you too. They managed to get me out of Storm Blaster.
Wait, where's Stormblaster?
Oh man.
Where is Stormblaster?
I don't know. They kind of knocked me out, and I think they had a flying vehicle. I don't know. He must have been trying to get away. Yeah, Justin's very out of breath. We'll have to find him.
We gotta find it in the sky.
Jason approaches Justin. Are you sure you're all right? Seem kind of out of your depth there a little bit, like you kind of winded, like you hadn't done this in a while. And I know you hadn't, but thought you were shaping up your skills a little bit. Thought you were training with Billy every now and again. Justin's just like, yeah, I was. Just kind of been slacking off, you know. You know how I am, how I can be. And Jason just, yeah, I know. Luke, you hear from Lightning Cruiser. Something seems a little off about this entire situation.
Yeah, no. I'm picking up on that.
Any of you who would like to try insight again can insight on this situation, in particular, Justin, if you want to.
The culture thing?
Yeah, I would like to.
Yes.
I will as well.
Yeah, something is wrong.
I didn't even do that with advantage.
Jason? Well, Jason tried to roll. He had advantage because
Jason's
Justin,
probably just excited to see
Jason,
his friend in so long.
Lightning Cruiser tells you, Luke, that something doesn't feel right about Justin. He knows Justin. Lightning and Stormblaster would not abandon him whatsoever.
Yeah, Stormblaster wouldn't have fucked off. Luke even knows that.
And Lightning Cruiser does know that Justin shouldn't be that strong. I don't know if y'all paid attention, but when the putty rolled against Justin, there was a 22 difficulty. If y'all are paying attention.
Yeah, I saw that. You rolled
fucking
19 and it didn't hit him.
Lightning Cruiser is weirded out how strong Justin is, but Lightning Cruiser is also like, but he did fix the blue turbo power, so, and he's been working with Billy. Maybe they made enhancements, but something still falls off about Justin. And Charlie, from your own standing, you don't feel like Justin should be acting this way. Something about you just says, this doesn't seem like a teenager. And it seems like Jason's just eating it up. And y'all can do with that information what you will.
Which direction did Stormblaster go?
Hey, yeah, where did Stormblaster get off to, Justin?
Like I said, I was knocked out of him, and I had to morph. I guess he's still being chased by whatever he's being chased by. I really don't. I mean, he's probably on his way soon.
What if Jason and Luke drive around looking while Hayakawa and I stay here?
No, I don't think we want to quite do that yet. So, Justin, since things have kind of, chilled out a little bit, but you were ambushed earlier, I have medical training. Do you mind demorphing so I can take a look at you and make sure you're okay?
That's fucking smart.
No, I think I'd rather just stay morphed for now, just in case more show up. I mean, there could be monsters nearby.
I mean, there's plenty of us, and it only takes a second to morph back up. I just want to make sure you're not banged up, bud.
No, like I said, I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good. And now Jason, at this point, is starting to get kind of concerned. He says, well, I think we should all power down. There's no more threat, and we can morph. It doesn't take that long. We'll be fine. There's multiple of us, and we got the vehicle, so I think we should all power down. Do y'all follow Jason's lead in powering down?
I do. Power down. Unmorph.
Yeah.
However, Hayakawa does not unmorph. Hayakawa does not like the feeling he's getting from Justin.
Yeah, Luke doesn't either, so Luke's gonna back up just a little bit, but he's got Lightning Cruiser kind of puttering.
Justin's like, come on. I mean, Jason's like, come on, Jason. Could Justin just unmorph? I mean, there's no threat. We can go help you find Storm Blaster. And Justin's just holding on to not unmorphing.
In Japanese to Hayakawa, Luke's gonna say, "This might not actually be Justin, and if it is, something's very wrong."
Justin is going to turn around and ask you why you don't think it's not him.
Oh, shit.
In Japanese, he responds, "You know, you are a really smart kid. I should have figured you knew Japanese."
And he goes back in English. I know at least 5 languages.
In English, "Good for you. Now, if you wouldn't mind proving me wrong."
You'll feel the tension start to boil as Justin is still holding on. And it's just me. I'm just nervous, you know? I don't really know what's, like,
I'm gonna go, hey, if you're nervous, maybe this will calm you down. And then my cat kind of comes out, and what does my cat do when it sees him?
Charlie,
Yes.
I want you to roll alertness with the dice shift. This will be your cat doing this. Alertness with a dice shift of D6. And a difficulty of, let's see, 14. Going based off Justin's stats. Not a critical. She did go over 14. Charlie, your cat is hella suspicious.
It's not
Your
doing
cat
the calming thing.
Your cat does not feel like this is Justin. Their cat actively stays away. And you can feel that your cat is getting an evil aura off of Justin.
Guys,
You can see it with your own eyes as your pupils turn to that of shark cat eyes. Seeing through your cat's eyes, you see that Justin has a dark aura.
I'm going to go, something's wrong with his aura, guys. I'm going to say it out loud so Justin hears me. This isn't him. And I'm going to go, companion, convert, house cat. And I'm going to morph into my yellow ranger.
Jason, after hearing that, is also going to morph back just in case. And Jason's going to say, all right, the jig is up. Whoever you are, whatever you've done, or God forbid, Justin, you went the wrong path. You're not going anywhere now. And Hayakawa is going to say, yeah, you're not going anywhere, buddy, as he puts his hand on his shoulder. And when Hayakawa puts his hand on his shoulder, something interesting happens. Hayakawa's energy just now, or suit energy now being adapted to the grid energy, has an interesting effect on Justin's suit. As sparks go flying, Hayakawa is thrown back on his ass, and Justin's suit is damaged on the shoulder and the arm, but you can't quite tell what's underneath it. But it's as if his voice was being distorted. It now starts to shatter, or not shatter, kind of go in and out of its original voice that was being disguised. Jason knows whose voice this is. And Jason is going to look at him.
Please don't be Darkonda.
And say, what did you do, Billy?
Oh.
It's Billy. It's Billy. I was about to say, do we recognize it as Billy's voice? Because we heard Billy on the communicator.
Y'all recognize it as a much older voice, but y'all didn't recognize it fast enough as Jason did. And Justin, what is supposed to be Justin, looks up and starts to say in this distorted voice going in and out between the over ones, well, that was unexpected. I don't know who you are, Silver Man. You're not Zane. But that was not from this world. As the suit starts to fall apart,
Ah!
he demorphs, and it's Billy 1C. Jason, in a fury, goes to punch Billy, but Billy activates his secret weapon. Billy pulls out a blaster of some sort and quickly shoots Jason, demorphing him immediately.
Oh.
What in the fuck?
As Jason is blasted back, seeing that his demorphed, his power's intact, but he is demorphed and is unable to access them temporarily. Billy starts getting up, circling around, gun in hand, turning in a full 360. I'm not going. Y'all aren't going anywhere either. Whoever your leader is, whoever's sending you to do this, I want them here. No tricks and no gimmicks. I have this set to a stun effect. If I turn it to full, your powers will not be temporarily removed. They will be permanently removed.
I'm gonna hold up my hands and be like, that's fine. If you just want to talk, we can figure something out.
Jason, getting to his feet a little better. Billy, what are you doing, man? This ain't you. Come on, can we just talk? We don't know no leader, no nothing. Let's just talk this through. Billy looks back at Jason and says, I'm not your Billy. You don't know who I am. And I'm not going to say anything until I meet this leader of yours. So what are y'all doing about this situation?
This is a big thing. I just look to Luke and look back at Jason to make sure he's okay.
Jason's fine. Hayakawa is now starting to get back on his feet. Hayakawa's fine. His suit is fine. Everything about him is fine.
We figure out what his terms are, like how we're gonna do this meeting.
It's up to y'all. Y'all don't have to do anything he wants if y'all don't want to.
If he wants to try to talk, but it could be a trap. Why'd you even try to trick us as Justin? What'd you do with Justin? Tell us he's okay.
Well, genius, if you were smart enough to figure it out, I was trying to get in your base, if you have one, whatever it is you're using to track me. I wanted to get a board. It's not that hard to figure out.
Well, I'm not that smart.
Clearly.
Yeah, but you didn't expect me to have that cat or Hayakawa's Voldemort touch. I don't know what that is. That's not a thing I say.
Unexpected? I've never seen powers like yours before. You must be from the farthest reaches of the multiverse.
That's what they tell me.
Just so confident. I'm stupid.
Charlie.
I'm not smart.
Charlie.
No, but listen, we do want to talk to you. Because we know that you wanted to.
Charlie.
I'm running out of patience. You either call your leader now, or I guess we're going to do this the hard way.
Well, wait. What are your terms? Like, we got to make sure that he's okay. We got to make sure that he's safe.
What do you want to talk about? Because you've already told us that you wanted to try to get into our base. So we're not very inclined to trust you now, are we?
Yeah, that's fair. And he kind of shakes his head a little bit. The reason why I'm after your boss is because I'm assuming he's the one who sent the cowboy after me.
We have nothing to do with that.
Oh, I'm sure you don't.
I'm not even sure that I know what you're talking about.
Oh, come on, please. He's everywhere. He's called the Lone Ranger. Fucking stereotypical name.
Actually, we just learned about him yesterday.
And he's gonna go ahead and shake his head again. Just like I'm inclined to believe you. I'm not. You're inclined to not believe me. I'm not inclined to believe you.
I'm gonna.
Luke just kind of shrugs his shoulders. We're not really working with him. I don't even know what the man looks like. But you just said cowboy, so I guess he's stereotypical. Got a cowboy hat. Does he ride a fucking horse?
Actually, I don't know if he does. I haven't seen him yet.
If
But I've ran into him.
listen,
Haven't seen the horse yet.
if we pull our leader up on our communicator, you promise you won't try to do anything.
Charlie.
Well, like I said, healing starts with open communication.
And then, as y'all are talking, the sky starts to get ridiculously dark. Very dark. And Billy looks up. Oh, come on. I'm fine. I'm handling the situation. And you can see him put his ear to an earpiece. You don't have to. Okay, fine. I guess we're doing this. And in a bolt of red lightning,
Fuck me.
appears a red ranger with a very sinister aura, and he grabs Billy. No, I'm getting you out of here. This is a lost cause. Obviously, they're not going to. And he stops as he looks around. As he looks right at this green ranger right in front of him. Roll me an alertness, Luke. You are only a few feet away from him, so the difficulty is not hard. It's
What's the difficulty?
gonna be an 8. So he looks at you, and Billy looks at him, and under his breath, you hear, Luke. And then Billy has a look of shock on his face as he grabs the Psycho Red Ranger, and they both teleport away.
As like when they teleport, Luke like goes sprints forward and like almost falls.
You heard him. What you gain
Yeah.
from the critical success is you know who that is. You recognize that voice.
Don't do this to me. Don't fucking. Oh yeah, no. Luke like sprints forward, like hand outstretched in the direction of the Red Ranger, and as they teleport off, he almost like fucking falls.
I don't think I have to tell you who that was.
No, I know who that was. And he just fucking stands there. And he like rips his helmet off.
As you're doing this, Hayakawa is going to sprint forward and say, Neji Ranger? Here? Unless y'all have a version of the Neji Ranger. Those are not good. Our team almost died several times fighting those things. They're not human. They're monsters.
That. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Jason comes up to you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, calm down.
No. Don't tell me to calm down right now.
All right, okay. Where do we need to go now?
I don't know where the fuck you need to, I need to leave. I need to get the fuck out of here for a minute. He just sort of he drops to his knees and he's just holding the helmet in his hands.
Hayakawa is going to walk away, his finger up to his ears on his headset, or the helmet on the side like he's touching his ears. and you're going to hear him conversing with someone. And then Hayakawa comes back. They're teleporting us back to the ship immediately. Prepare yourselves. And y'all are teleported back in the vehicle bay. Allie appears first, really concerned, on her knees, in the air, but still like on her inner knee position, next to Luke. Luke, are you okay?
No, I'm not fucking okay.
Whoop! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And then the famous heavy footsteps.
He sort of like scrambles back, like, and just kind of runs into the side of Lightning Cruiser, and he's like, his back is up against Lightning Cruiser, and he's the helmet's on the floor next to him now, and he's just got his knees pulled up to his chest.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's trying really hard not to have a panic attack.
Okay, my cat's gonna come and sit around you, and it won't get close to you unless you accept it. But it's watching you closely and purring next to you.
Orion is talking to Ayakawa, who finally powers down, talking to him about what he knows that to be. And Orion, and you can hear Orion talking, a Neji Ranger. No, that's not Neji Ranger. If he was speaking English, he's probably our versions known as the Psycho Rangers. The Psycho Rangers are beings who were taken apart, put back together over and over and over again until they develop some sort of emotional rupture in their minds. Usually Psycho Red, known as Virgil, is the monster of rage and aggression.
That's not Virgil.
Orion turns. Then who is it?
That man's name isn't Virgil.
You know who it is?
Luke looks up at him, and there's like tears coming down his face.
You see, as Orion's eyes turn blue once again, and it's like you can feel someone piggybacking on your mind. And then his eyes quickly turn back. So it's like that. And you're sure.
I haven't heard that voice in years, but I would know it anywhere.
This
Can
is
somebody fill us in on what's going on?
Orion is going to speak up. What you saw was a Psycho Ranger, known as Neji Ranger, where Hayakawa is from. They have similarities. From where he is, they are monsters, demons put in suits. In our world, they are usually regular people tortured to the brink, psychotically scarred, taken apart, put back together over and over and over again until they become something unhuman. They are usually, in the multiverse, the same ones. Virgil, the Red Ranger, Axe, the Blue Ranger, Photon, the Black Ranger, Yellow, the Yellow Ranger, and I can't remember the Pink Ranger's name, so I'll tell y'all later. So he says the Pink Ranger's name because I can't remember what it is right now. I memorized most of them though, so they are people tortured to the brink, empowered by Dark Spectre. Charlie will know who Dark Spectre is.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Well, I did Zio. Javi would know more.
And Luke, you recognize the name Dark Spectre from your past. You remember that Dark Spectre was killed by his cousin Malagor in your universe. Malagor taking the space of Dark Spectre, who was the one who led the charge that eventually led to the death of your teammates. The person who killed your team, he was the big bad in charge. But the person who killed your team, you have shut that from your memory and you have not reawakened it yet. You know who it is. It's just deep in your memory. So, Charlie, you have just been told that that was a Psycho Ranger, and a Psycho Red Ranger who is apparently someone that Luke knows has aligned himself with Billy.
Luke, You recognize that person's voice? I know this is probably really hard for you, but we're dealing with a lot of weird multiversal stuff. And maybe that's not the one. Maybe that's not who you think it is.
No, don't fucking sit here and try to blow smoke up my ass and tell me that it's probably not the one that I know. He fucking said my name.
That's right, he did.
He fucking knew who I was. So get the fuck out of my face with that.
Yeah, it's not like how my mom or how that lady was. I'm gonna talk to Orion and be like, that Psycho Red Ranger recognized Luke. They recognized each other.
Yes, it is a possibility, but it is also very unlikely. You have to remember your world is in stasis. If Marcus was even alive in your world, he wouldn't be able to move.
Don't fucking say his name.
Wait, I'm confused though.
Let me explain a little more about the multiverse and how it works. There are worlds filled with people constantly. The way that I've tried to learn the multiverse and the way that me and Hayakawa have agreed upon about how it works is this. You have billions of people making billions of choices, creating infinite Earths. For every choice you make, you literally create a world. One where you made the choice, and a second where you didn't. Yet again, creating infinite Earths. Some so similar to each other you could spend a whole lifetime searching for any distinction, others so radically different they defy comprehension.
But Orion, we're a task force that's been put together by you to go after Billy. Did you get Luke for a specific reason? Is there some way that you knew that Billy had aligned himself with someone that Luke had known from his universe? Because what are the odds?
Charlie, remind me again, what is your Earth designation?
5-V1827?
You said 27 at the end?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Now imagine a world not too far from yours, similar, but so close, yet again, everything could be exactly the same, yet just slightly off. You could say perhaps that almost everything is exactly the same. Like I said, little distinction. You could spend a lifetime looking for it, but you probably wouldn't find it. There'd be such little change that it's almost as if, what's the point? And that's part of it. It's also a running theory that worlds that are so similar, that the distinction is so small, that after so long, they pull on each other until they merge seamlessly. It's also what would be known as, in your time, I think it's known as the Mandela effect. Changes you swore were there that millions of people agree upon, but it's never the way that people thought it was. There's no way that millions of people would agree on memory and it be wrong. Your Earth, very closest to yours, ending in a 2-6, it is probably the exact same as your world. With probably such a small difference, it almost makes it pointless to have that said world. There is a possibility that a Earth closest to Luke's, there was another Marcus who took a different path.
Then why did he know who I was?
He had his own world.
Like I said, very little difference. So most likely, he knows you, but not you.
So,
Or this could just be something you're trying to tell us to make it go down easier.
Are you saying that to him?
so,
I don't know what to think.
so that, because you said Psycho Rangers are made by breaking the person down and putting them back together. They can't do that with dead people, right?
No. There is only one power in the universe that can bring people back, and that is the grid. Anyone else is lying. Even if they've managed to bring someone back, they are a shell of their former selves, and they hold no power.
But you can't know that for sure. You don't know everything.
You're right, I don't know everything. But if there was a power that was able to bring people back, wouldn't Billy have just sought that instead of attacking the grid?
Look, all we know for sure is that Billy's not working alone, and if he's got a red Psycho Ranger, then he's probably got a whole team. So we're gonna need to get more powerful, and maybe talking isn't the way out of this. I need to go to my room for a little while and just think. Can I be excused?
You may be excused.
Luke demorphs and gets up and tries to leave.
I will give you all the time you need to process this information. But the fact that Billy isn't working alone means we do not have a lot of time. And then Jason is going to approach Orion with, I remember something about that. Dark Spectre was trying to make those Rangers when we attacked, but he couldn't do it in time. We shattered Zordon's tube and there he went. So you're telling me that's what we would have had to face if he had managed to do what he wanted? Orion turns to look at Jason, yes. And unfortunately, and all of you are gone, so none of you can hear this.
Luke stopped.
You are a good bit of ways. You'd have to roll alertness to hear
He's
this.
far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to roll alertness, and at that point, is it really worth it? You're gonna know it outside of character.
It's fine. Yeah. Luke fucks off to his room.
And Orion says, unfortunately, even if that is a Marcus that may have had his own Luke, it's not the same. It's a harsh reality to learn going about the multiverse. You may know someone, but do they know you? And do they actually know you? Do you know them? You could see them, but did they know you in that universe? Maybe. This one did. It's very interesting that Billy would choose him, and then Luke would show up here. Destiny has a weird way of working out. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
That was fucking epic. This is awesome.